needed something different and it had to be you. Out the blue, somebody who would listen and it had to be you. Out of all the people to revive my love, couldn't be just anyone. But baby, it had to be you. I didn't seem to notice that you were checking for me. We were just friends, but we started building trust and my fragile heart started to bend. Yeah, I should have paid attention. You would have been the obvious choice, but I needed time to see clearly, dig deep and cut through the noise. So then you came around and you let it go, but so you and not surprised by what I found, 'cause I know I needed something different and it had to be you. Out the blue,
Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. It is a beautiful Monday morning. Are y'all ready? I said up front, not everyone will appreciate what's about to happen. Humans worse than COVID. People have lost their damn minds. I got 2 videos I'm going to play for you in the first hour. Plus, I'm going to catch you up on all the most relevant information as it relates to our community that has happened over the weekend. Plus, I've got, let's call it some advice as we look forward to the Thanksgiving holiday coming up this week. This is Cincinnati's first daily digital talk show that focuses on the Black community. Of course, brought to you by the good folks over at CDM, Sin Digital Media. Their mission is simple: amplify Black voices. To help with that mission, please like and in particular share today's show. Again, family, when you share the show, more people see it. I'm Nathan Ivey, and we'll get started in about 60 seconds. Don't go anywhere.
Nathan Ivey Show is supported by listeners. Go to www.patreon.com/Nathan Ivey Show and help Nathan keep the show independent. You're listening to The Nathan Ivey Show. One man, one microphone, one mission. Now let's get back to the flow.
Yeah. Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand. Back again like flu season, I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming down my roof, leaving, don't give a I don't care. Did the for my lonesome, no wonder now I'm on one. No shortcuts on that long run, all I really want is my share. Get on my God, on my totem is nothing. In the discussion, got them feelings, I throw all my pain on percussion. The disgusting, I hear them bragging about that they did, and it do not move me, not in the least. They ain't been dropping no.
All right, good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. Let's get the show started, shall we? Because we don't have a lot of time. We do not have a lot of time. Let me put the cam on. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the show. That light's a little bit in my face there. Yeah, boy. Now we cooking. Oh, good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you? How was your weekend? How was your weekend? Are you doing? Everybody eating good? Everybody living good? Hopefully so. I wish you all the best. Good morning to you. Before we get started, man, I want to say and really get deep into the show. I want to say shout out to Miss Ebony J for a fabulous event she put on last night. And I think, man, it's just so many great, smart, intelligent black people that live in the greater Cincinnati area. People that during COVID has decided to pivot their business and whatever they're doing to the virtual space. I thought it was excellent. Shout out to Miss Ebony J. If you missed it, circle back around on her Facebook page, her official page, Miss Ebony J. Make sure you check her out. Shout out to her, man. Good morning to you. Yes, I am here. I feel great. I had a great weekend. Somebody broke into our car yesterday. Yeah, man. When I say broke into it, it was more like my dumb ass left the door unlocked overnight. And then we realized yesterday that somebody had went through the glove compartment and stuff like that. And so I got to file a police report and just to make sure nothing valuable was there. There was some jumper cables actually in the back on the floor of the back in the back of the car, which I think jumper cables are valuable. And who knows what it is. I'm less concerned about the material stuff, and I'm more concerned about COVID. I don't want somebody that had COVID go through my car breathing. Let me see what they got. Breathing all in my damn car. So I had to disinfect the whole car. I'm still in the process. I got a little OCD in me for something like that, man. It changed the whole day. My whole day was changed over something like that. And it was less about, because again, nothing materially was stolen. And what do we have to do in terms of identity theft and all that kind of stuff? Make sure the police get their reports. Damn, I wish they'd just knock on the door. I might have dropped you a few dollars, man. You hungry? Just knock on the door next time. The answer's going to be yes or no, but don't breathe your COVID cooties all in my damn car. Literally, y'all have no idea what I have to do now. I'm not even going to tell you. You're going to look at me differently if I tell you. I will not feel comfortable until I clean every inch of the car before my family gets back in there. It's the OCD in me. I mean, damn it. They don't know what they did. So that changed yesterday just a little bit. But other than that, and even because of that, man, life is good. Take what you want, homie. Like I said, I mean, these are little creature comforts. You know, again, my OCD to the side, we'll be okay. Life goes on. Again, it's great to be with you. Great to be alive. It's not the first time that's happened. We live in the Clifton area, and somebody broke into our car many years ago. It's before little Buddha was born, or maybe she was younger. It happened twice. Somebody broke the window and didn't take anything. I was pissed. How you gonna break my car window and then don't steal anything? You better steal something. You better take that ashtray. Take something. Make it worth it. Cost us about, I don't know, 200 and some change, and then you got to clean out all the glass. You talk about a pain in the you-know-what. Damn. But, you know, crime goes on. As we found out from City Hall, crime continues, even during COVID. Speaking of City Hall, tomorrow we are scheduled to speak with Raphael Prophet. Raphael Prophet is a black man running for mayor. He's scheduled to give us a call at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. You know, this should be your first destination. Okay, this is the fastest growing media platform in the Cincinnati area. Ooh, people ain't gonna say it when I say that, but they ain't gonna like it, but it is what it is. Okay, you got to stop. Talk with us. Talk with this audience. I'll say it again. This is not just an audience comprised of voters. No. This is an audience comprised of influencers. The people in this audience influence other people to vote and how they vote on multiple levels. I'm very proud to say that. A lot of great, smart, intelligent people, as I've learned, listen to this show. I think it's a reflection of the host. At least that's how I'm gonna take it. You know what I'm saying? We are a reflection of one another. Speaking of reflections, man, I saw that. Where you at, John? #Glorious. Bring your ass to the front of the class. Listen, folks, I'm a real dude. I said it before. If I rock with you, I rock with you, period. If you go out here and you do something dumb, that's on you. But I'm never embarrassed about the things that I do. I do a podcast with PG Sinfield called Hot Mic. It still may be up on Facebook. People should check it out. It was interesting. It was decent. It's a decent podcast. I saw that John #Glorious, this fool crops out the banner and then leaves a photograph of me and PG together. But again, if people see that, you should go. It's another reason to join the Friends page and go check it out. Friends who like the Nathan Ivey Show. I ain't embarrassed, John. That goofball-ish, man. The next time you post it, make sure you keep the banner in and get the full credit for it. I guess I touched a nerve when I talked about white-on-white crime. Well, damn it, I'm going to do it again. Oh, don't tell me I touched a nerve. It's just in me, the Virgo in me. I'm going to keep touching it. I'm going to keep on. I've always been that way. I'm immature like that. I'm disrespectful like that. Where's Danita at? I'm disrespectful like that. I'm disrespectful. I'm trying to be disrespectful. If you don't want to hear a black man speak his truth, then you don't want to turn this show on because you might be triggered. If you can't handle all of that, this ain't the show for you. Just keep it pushing. Keep it pushing. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. You can't handle it. I don't know what to tell you. Good morning to you. Let me switch gears here and throw the number up on the screen because we might talk about something this morning that you might want to give us a call about. 513-873-7134 if you'd like to share your thoughts. Where's all my Bengal fans at? All my friends that are Bengal fans, where you at? Where you at? I found out about it on Facebook that Joe Burrow messed up his ACL. And, that's never good, man. I don't wish nothing bad on anybody, man, especially not like an injury like that. That's terrible. Yes, please take a second to share today's show because I'm going to take a second and share my own ish this morning. It means everything. Thank you in advance. When you share the show, quite frankly, more people see it. Real simple. And I got a few dozen places I like to share it. And again, if you see somebody else already shared it, it don't matter. Share it anyway. Share it anyway. Good morning to you. I appreciate you helping me grow this platform. Speaking of helping me grow the platform, to all of Team NI, thank you for your support. To my patrons, thank you so much for your support. If you are a patron, make sure you download that Patreon app. That way you can get all the updates straight to your phone. The Patreon app is free. And it just gives you access to the Patreon feed that you're already a part of. And I posted the first edition of our newsletter called The Podcast Collective. You can get access to it at this point exclusively from our Patreon feed. I want to give you as much value as possible and come through on my pledge on all levels for you and say thanks for your support. I also posted a new video over the weekend that you might find interesting, so you should check that out as well. And again, that's an open line of communication between myself and the audience. Again, I'm producing content for you. You are the focal point of my content creation efforts. It's for you. So why shouldn't I go directly to you on all matters related to that content? On that Patreon feed, you'll find out about new podcasts that we're working with. And again, this is just the beginning and new things that CDM and the Nathan Ivey Show is doing. If you're interested, that's a great way to get insights into it. And for as little as $2 a month, which I think is $24 a year, you can join our mission to amplify Black voices in the greater Cincinnati area and beyond. People are watching what I'm doing and they want to do it. They want to recreate it. I see it in front of me. And I think that's beautiful. We are the trendsetters here, the Choppers, the Nathan Ivey Show, CDM. We are blazing a new trail. Other people are watching like, oh, yeah, I'm going to do that too. Great. But I'm the person that has to say that. I have to say that. Good morning to you. 513-873-7134. Let me put this up on the screen today. We got a deadline for this opportunity, which is the 27th. We've been promoting this now for about a month. And this is a very, very interesting project in a partnership between Shanghai Imaging and Sin Digital Media. We are collectively producing a brand new podcast relationship dating show. And we have everything in place except for the host. And we're looking for a female host. This is a paid position. Okay, did you hear that? I'll say it again. So if you are interested or you know someone who might be interested, then have them go to CDM's Facebook page. You might have to scroll down a little bit, and/or it's also the banner. Just read about it. We're asking you to post a video no longer than 3 minutes telling us about yourself, why you think you would be perfect for something like this, and tell us an interesting dating and/or relationship story. That's it. That's it. That is going to be a lot of fun. And that podcast it signifies a different type of podcast that we're doing with CDM. Like to this point, we've been doing a lot of live streaming, which I love. I love it. You know, it's almost like a radio station in a sense because you can live stream and get live interaction with people. I love it. That's what time it is. We have no plans on abandoning that. But there's a whole world of creativity out there. And again, there's so many smart, intelligent Black men and women in Cincinnati. And I'm very happy to have connected with a lot of smart, intelligent people to, in some cases, create new things. In other cases, to bring their vision to life. And we're doing it every single day. So if you want to join that mission, if you got an idea, please hit me up. You can send a message to CDM on Facebook. And in particular, again, the 27th will be the deadline. We have gotten submissions. At this point, I think people have seen it. If they're interested, at least on Facebook and things like that, if people are interested, cool. All right. And we're going to move forward with that. I think that has the potential to be very, very interesting. I'll just put it that way. I've not seen anything like that out there in the podcast world. And this is what I do. I'm looking. This is what I do. You know, if it has to do with digital media, it's probably come across my radar screen or I'm actively looking for it because it's what I do. If I play basketball, I can tell you all the top basketball players. It's what I do. But again, I can't see everything. So looking forward to that. Also, these sweatshirts, Black Voices Matter, will be made available as this week to the winners of some of the trivia games that we were doing going back to Election Day. Again, I don't know if you tried to order anything. Depending where you order from, I mean, they're telling me with COVID, it might take a while. But I'm hoping that by next week, and that's what I've been told, though they will be here. They'll be here. And this is going to be a limited edition Black Voices Matter merch that'll be available this week if you're interested. You know, you can carry our brand. And I think who doesn't believe in Black voices, that Black voices should matter? If that's you suspect to me. Black lives matter. Black politics matter. Black policy matters. And Black voices matter. Seems that seems easy to me. So I'll make that available to you. Get a chance to see it. Probably start next week. And we may do a trivia giveaway today. I am prepared for that. That's always a lot of fun. I love it. That's a lot of fun. So good morning to you. 513-873-7134. Man, I got things to tell you. This is crazy. So let me put the cover up one more time so you can see this. Humans worse than COVID. People have lost their Dayum minds. And I do mean Dayum. And then that's the bucket in which I'll be talking about a lot of things. Yeah, I got my Cincinnati Bearcats on today, a little workout gear. I'll be working out right after the show. I met the wifey at the University of Cincinnati. I'll say it again. I went to college for the girls. I know that's going to sound crazy. So you end up getting a couple of degrees in the wifey. But I went to college for the girls. I'm just be straight up with you. I was like, yeah, education. Girls, women. That's what I was thinking. I'm being transparent. You know, all my partners was on their way to college. So I'm like, man, shoot, I'm going to college too. But in my head, I was thinking about women. I mean, I'm a happy heterosexual. Proud of it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Take it or leave it. Like it or not. I'll say it again. I went to college, and in my head, I was like, yeah. I got to make sure I keep my grades up because I didn't want to fall behind. But I wanted to meet women from all over the country. And I did. College is a beautiful place. And I met the wifey there. So, I got to rep my university. Got to rep all that damn money I spent. Is it worth it? I don't know. I guess it was because I met the wifey there. We met in a class called Topics in Math, which is sort of like a general course that everybody had to take, or I don't know. Maybe it was from what they called the university college back then. I don't know. I can't remember, but it was called Topics in Math. And I was like, who is this pretty thing looking at me? What? Fellas, you know what I'm talking about? You just notice a woman looking at you like, who, me? Oh, yeah, me. Me, oh, yes, I'm for this. And the rest is history. 2 kids and 20 years of marriage later. I didn't plan on it, but, I found somebody that made me want to get married. So I had to soup her up, man. But somebody else souped her up. And I'm glad I did. 513-873-7134. It's interesting when you marry a woman and have kids and you're still with her, and then, we've actually walked back with the campus with our children and showed them the exact spot where we saw one another, which is kind of beautiful in a kind of way. It's just our little sappy love story. I mean, don't get caught up with it. I ain't no sappy love guy like that, but it's our story. So if you can't, embrace your own love story, then what you alive for? You know what I'm saying? I'll say it again. I didn't plan on getting married. Married for what? There's too many women out here. There's too many of them. All different sizes and melanated beautifulness. What I'm going to need with just one. But, you get older, your priorities change, you get domesticated. Right? Yeah. Oh, man. It's beautiful, though. It's funny, over the weekend, it was really Saturday, because yesterday I was caught up in my OCD-ness, right? I had a bad attitude all day. And if my family's watching, if you got some of it, I didn't mean to. But after I found out that they broke into my car, like the door was unlocked because my dumb ass I was out Saturday, left the door unlocked, and apparently they must have just went through like, what can we find? Slipping through the door and coming through blasting, all this kind of stuff, and didn't take a damn thing. But again, if you're just tuning in my OCD-ness, I'm like, damn, now I got to completely disinfect the car. I damn near want to go take it to get professionally interior clean, quite honestly. It's worth the expense to me just for the peace of mind, but then I got to worry about them mofos. So now I got to go all hazmat suit today and completely clean it out. It's going to be a problem. It is what it is. Hey, good morning, everybody. I know you're sick of me ranting and raving. I saw what happened to Joe Burrow. He's out, season-ending injury, but y'all wasn't going to win shit, no way. Y'all wasn't going nowhere, no way. Now, condolences to him and his family. I mean, but he getting paid for that. He'll be okay. He'll snap back. He'll be okay. It looked gruesome, though. Didn't you see the hit? I just saw it on YouTube afterward because I don't really watch the NFL like that because they don't give a damn about black people. I don't know how black people keep watching it, but it is what it is. I ain't judging you. And don't call up and say, well, the NBA, I don't want to hear it. Speaking of NBA, you see what LeBron James is doing? The Lakers over the weekend? Woo! Can you say repeat? I want to see LeBron James win 7 championships. Why? Because there's so many damn LeBron haters. Where you at, Brian? Brian in here? There's so many LeBron James haters out there. So every time he wins a championship, I feel like he's just sticking it to you, and I like that. That's why I rock with that black man, because I likes it. But let me throw this up on the screen and let me get into more serious matters. Humans worse than COVID. People have lost their Dayum minds. Those are 2 screenshots from media that was taken by individuals. On the left, that's the 2 white males. And again, this is just another sort of small example of how humans are worse than COVID. I don't know if you've seen these videos. Both have gone so-called viral. On the left, this white male came across 2 women on a hiking trail, and he got upset because they didn't have a mask on, so he started spitting at them. Have you ever been spat at? Sounds like a Dr. Seuss rhyme, don't it? Have you ever been spat at? How would you react to a grown person spatting at you? I'm making up shit now. Spitting at you because I guess they want to try to make some kind of point. I got the video for you. It's crazy. Now police are looking for this fool on the left. On the right, he's a Trump supporter, as you can tell with his t-shirt. And that video, that incident happened outside of one of Trump's golf courses where he is nowadays. These mofos still around here arguing about the damn election. They still arguing about the election. Trump is trying to get election officials in certain states to go against the will of the popular vote and to determine him the president. Like, this is still happening. This is still happening. Somebody says something, yeah, I'm a UC Bearcat. You know, I want to say this to you. There's a lot of entrepreneurs out there. And if you're an entrepreneur and you create t-shirts, listen, hit me with a DM, send me a t-shirt. I'll put a link in the description. I'll rock it for you. That we can just barter in that way. You know what I'm saying? That's the way of getting your brand out there. Tens of thousands of people see this on Facebook every single month. Tens of thousands. Okay, so I'll rock it, especially if it's on some black-owned type stuff or it's got a black-centered theme. Send it to me, right? 2X. I'll put a link in the podcast description. Boom. I'll do you a solid. That's straight up. You know what I'm saying? We'll see how that works, but I'm down with that. Yeah, you see, babe. You see. But back to this. On the right, this white police are looking for both of these white males. And I made the observation many, many years ago, I can't tell you exactly when it was, that in the new America, because the old America's dead, in the new America, as I call it, sneezing on someone and you don't cover your mouth, you're subject to get that ass whooped. And now COVID has proven that to be true. I saw a video over the weekend, I think it was up in New York, right? Where a black man, he was at, I don't know what kind of restaurant he was in. He didn't have a mask on, right? So the people that work in the store doing their job, they asking to put a mask on. You know what this motherfucker did? This man got a knife and started slashing people because he was mad because they wouldn't offer him service. This is a black man, young black dude. Clearly not here. I'll say it again. COVID is the least of our problems. Our real problem are humans. That's the real problem. Like this man, Exhibit B on the right here. So police are looking for both of these white males. The man on the right is being accused of assault. What did he do, family? What do you think he did? He blew his breath on two women. Do you believe that in the age of COVID, that if you blow your breath on someone, that you should be charged with assault? I'd like to know. 513-873-7134. Some people say yeah. So, I mean, some people say yeah because we don't know what you got. I don't know what it's just like unprotected sex and you know you got something. I don't know what you have. But authorities are looking for both of these men. I'll play the audio and the video for both of you, for both of those for you here in just a minute here. It's crazy with the times that we live in. We are living in absolutely remarkable times where human beings are capable of so much awesomeness. Human beings are doing awesome things. And you know, so we're at the top of like the top of the list, right? In terms of excellence, black excellence, human excellence. And on the other side, human beings are displaying some of the worst behaviors of all time. Look at the president. Winning. You're going to win so much. You're going to be tired of winning except for that bid for re-election, huh, Mr. President? And I love it. Donald Trump, after he won in 2016, ran around talking about how 306 electoral college votes is a landslide. It's a landslide. It's a landslide. And now he lost by 306 electoral votes. I love it. That's exactly what he deserves. Exactly what he deserves. If you missed it, coming up tomorrow, I'm scheduled to speak with Raphael Prophet. Raphael Prophet is a black man running for the mayor in the city of Cincinnati. We'll talk with him. Again, the mayor's race is different than it was before. I mean, you go back to the beginning of last week, it was a whole new local political paradigm. A week from today, yet last week, right? It was a whole new paradigm. I think the conventional wisdom was that P.G. Sittenfield was the front runner for the mayor's race. Now, inside of a week, and see, that's the reason why I say fight every day, never give up, because you never know what tomorrow brings, family. You never know what tomorrow brings. Your fortune can rise or fall just like that in America. Don't let anybody tell you that what your plans are won't work. Don't let that. I don't even listen to people. Well, I might listen in the sense that like I'm listening, but I'm not listening, you know what I'm saying? Don't let people tell you you on the wrong path or that you wrong or you can't make it or you can't do it or your idea. Don't listen to that, family. Because in a week, your fortunes can change just like that. Just like that. Just like that. You can rise or fall in America just like that. We're looking at a local Game of Thrones. That's what I think it is. As it relates to city council and corruption, we're looking at the local version of the Game of Thrones. Now, who's going to be on top of who's going to sit in the Iron Throne when it's all over with? That's the question for my Game of Thrones fans. Y'all like that, don't you? I know you do. Go ahead. I know you do. Good morning to you. Hold on. Ooh, you see that steam coming up? Ooh, that's that organic green tea right there. A little bit of collagen powder in there, some turmeric power. You know what I'm saying? You know what you're doing every single day. Keep the body right. But again, I want to make this point. You don't ever give up. Look at what's happening inside of a week. So again, tomorrow, Raphael Prophet. Now, let me talk about city council. I'm hearing all kinds of things. It's like everybody's saying the same thing. You don't forget, more is going to happen. That's not particularly a cutting edge viewpoint to say that at this point. Watch, you're going to see more. We all know that. Everybody knows at this point you can expect for the FBI to charge perhaps more people on city council. What I'm being told is going to be a white male Democrat. I'm sharing this with you because I've gotten it from 3 sources over the weekend. Now, I probably could have, without those sources, if I was sitting around spitballing, I probably could have came with that myself because I don't think that's particularly cutting edge or insightful at this point, but I'm just telling you what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing, a white male Democrat. Now, who are white male Democrats on city council? I can think of 3. Chris Silbach, who got admonished by the Ohio Attorney General because of his comments in support of P.G. Sittenfield, which, I mean, you know, I didn't really have a problem with Silbach's comments. I mean, if you don't know, Chris Silbach, it was the same day that we found out. Matter of fact, yeah, we got some new news. So this happened after the show. On Friday, it was released to the media that current member of City Council, P.G. Sittenfield, says that he's innocent. Says he's innocent. Says he's innocent and he's going to fight it. And that the charges were being brought to him by a Trump-appointed FBI agent. And in that same day, later that same day, Chris Silbach, who's a white male Democrat, both white male Democrats, went on Twitter, went on social media, and basically reiterated what P.G. Sittenfield put out there, that he will be exonerated. He's going to stand by him. And he implied that perhaps there was a political motivation. Now, is there a political motivation to what's happening with city council? Well, this is why it goes back to my Game of Thrones analogy. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. Now, when you say political motivation, does that mean that it's being politically motivated by the U.S. Attorney's Office in Ohio? Pardon me. I'm not saying that. I don't know. But in terms of what's happening here locally, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. Then Jason Williams, a white male who writes for the Inquirer, he put out some information saying, well, listen, let's get this right. The Villers actually, he said this investigation actually started under the Obama administration. Pardon me. Which I think is more accurate. I believe that Jason Williams is accurate in that. And then, of course, Trump came in. It's interesting that with the most corrupt president in our lifetime, that the FBI is out here in Cincinnati looking at corruption charges. That's interesting. That's ironic. It really is, but it is what it is. You can't commit no crime just because the president is. It don't work that way. But what do you make of all of this? What do you make of all of this? No, I know Donnie went super hard on Friday. If you missed it, you should check out her podcast, the Is It Just Me podcast. She went super hard. She went super hard. And I detect no lies in anything that she said. You should check it out. Very interesting point. And but we haven't talked about it yet. We haven't talked about the news about PG Sinfield and what's come out. We'll have to wait and see. You know me. I take a wait and see approach. I took a wait and see approach when it came to Demaya Denard. I'm taking a wait and see approach as it relates to Jeff Pastor. And I'm going to take a wait and see approach as it relates to PG Sinfield as well. We got to wait and see. I don't know. I know what the allegations are. I know the history. There's a lot of people who I know whose opinions I trust that are telling me like, look, when the FBI come down, it's a wrap, homie. You can get the cellophane and wrap it up. Go on, get it. It's over with. We'll have to wait and see. What do you think? 513-873-7134. Hold on, let me make sure my phone calls are not being misdirected. You know me, I ain't perfect. That has happened. It will happen again. But let all this marinate and tell me what you think. Is that a good strategy being employed by PG Sinfield? Like, is it a strategy or is it the truth? We'll find out. We'll find out. What do you think? I'm also being told, and again, I don't know if this is true or not, but I'm also being told that, okay, yeah, phone calls are coming to me. I'm also being told, see, I took a very strong opinion on this show, and I'm prepared to take an even stronger position here in the community in a broader sense very, very shortly, that if, in fact, Jeff Pastor is going to be replaced on city council, that he should be replaced by a black person. I'll say it again. Jeff Pastor should be replaced by a black person, preferably a black Republican. I'm consistent. I said this last week, the week before, I'm saying it again. Some information has come to me over the weekend. I'll share it with you. This is just information. I ain't telling you 100% it's going to happen this way or not. That there's a little bit of a conversation behind the scenes as to who Chris Smitherman was going to choose. Now, I do know that it was put out there that Wendell Young had the choice. But then I was told that change by Jeff Pastor and his office was not put in place in enough time. So, in fact, it'll be Christopher Smitherman who will make that decision. Again, this is what I'm being told. If we find out it's not true, then I'm telling you. And if we find out it is true, then I told you. So I'm being told that there was a conversation about who Christopher Smitherman should appoint. Now think about the value in that, family. That's a very valuable thing. You're running for city council, right? You're running for city council in a year. For somebody to put you on council and give you like a long ass runway, that's super valuable. Because now you're running as an incumbent. Now people have seen what you're going to be like. Now you get a chance to be in the position. It's very, very powerful. Very, very advantageous position to be in if you want to run for city council in 2021 is to be appointed to city council a year ahead of that. So you got a whole year to make relationships. You got a whole year for people. I mean, that's going to help you on every facet. It's going to help you on every facet. So who Chris Smitherman appoints is very, very, very valuable. Now, Jason Williams, white male who writes for The Inquirer, he had an article out maybe like a week ago, and it was all these names, but there was no melanin in the names. I mean, no black folks. And in my opinion, the voters voted for Jeff because they liked him, they believed him. You know, they connected with him personally, his charisma. I don't know what, he looked good in a uniform. I heard that, whatever it was. The voters voted on a black male Republican. Now I'll say it again so people understand where I'm coming from. I have no problem with Republicans. People might take me the wrong way, but if you on some dumb-ish, you're going to get called out, Democrat, Independent, or Republican. I got no problem with it. We need smart, intelligent black men and women to go into the Republican Party and change it from within. Just like we need smart, intelligent, conscious black men and women to go into the profession of law enforcement. I'm consistent. So what I'm being told now, what I'm hearing is that there's a lot of, scrambling and a lot of jockeying and a lot of phone calls being made behind the scenes as it relates to Christopher Smith and that pick. And rightly so, that's very, very valuable. But that he may or may have already chosen or decided that he is going to choose a black male. I was actually told who the black male is. I'm not going to put the name out here. I want to do a little bit more checking first. And then I'll put the name out there that I was told. I will say that the irony is pretty thick, to put it that way. I'm loving this, man. Where my popcorn at? Where's the popcorn, babe? I'm loving this. I want to see what happens next. I will say this. And if that happens, I say props to Mr. Smith. I mean, it should be a black person for a lot of different reasons. The city of Cincinnati is 42 to 45% black. With the current racial composition of city council, then that's 45% of council is black. It should remain that way. We shouldn't be taking those steps backwards. Now, I'm consistent. I said the same thing about the choice that P.G. Sittenfield made when Tamaya Denard was replaced. They should replace her with a black female. At the very least, somebody black. So we don't lose that reflection, that representation. It matters. Black leadership matters, especially conscious, honest leadership with integrity matters. I mean, now they got to add all these other words to it because mofos out here doing dumbish. But it is what it is. So that's a little bit of what I have to share with you this morning. Again, I know I didn't throw the name out there. I'll do so tomorrow. Let me do a little more checking, and I'll share it with you tomorrow, perhaps. But I think that will be, I'm saying a black Republican. Believe it or not, there are black male and black female Republicans that live in the city of Cincinnati for whatever reason. They got their reasons. They jive with the Republican Party. Like I told you before, in terms of the Game of Thrones, it's a smart play. Because as a black person in the Republican Party, you stand out. You're a unicorn. You're a unicorn. Some would say token, but you're a unicorn. You stand out. Everybody loves unicorns. Everybody loves unicorns. I say unicorns on T-shirts and underoos and kids' cartoons. Everybody loves a unicorn, right? Let's go to the phones, take our first phone call this morning. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, this is Carlton Collins. It's been a while since we've spoken. I came on the show to talk about the Lincoln Heights and the gun range piece.
Hey, what's up, Carlton? How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right, man. Can't complain at all. Just appreciative of what you do, man. I still get, I've loved you for years. With my dad, you were the one, no matter who he listened to, he was listening to you.
I appreciate that.
No, for sure. And two, I mean, I think it's really important to have your voice and have a consistent voice, like on the airwaves that's talking about, our issues directly. I think that's really, really important. But to jump into this situation, well, first and foremost, I thought it was kind of important to call because, CPD is still going on with city council. Had a very impactful hearing the first time, but in the midst of this chaos now, essentially, I believe CD gets a reprieve into the new year to still continue to shoot and impact, residents outside of the city. But I also think you're right to reserve judgment. But I've heard the same things. My college roommate was a DA up in Manhattan County, up in New York, and he gave me the same kind of notice. He was like, if the feds are involved, that means that they have the necessary evidence. But I think it's really important to look at this from the perspective of the way our political system is structured, right? I don't think this happens if if our council people are responsible for a district, right? I think we would have more progress in communities, and we talk about economic disparities and all of those things when people are accountable. Our majority rule system, though it's been it's given us the flexibility to very much so have a Democratic leaning council, but we don't have accountability in the same ways that other people have it. And I think that's a very, very big thing that I'm prayerful we can actually get changed, because then we can start realizing more. We can hold our elected officials more accountable to get things done for certain communities that have been neglected for years. So I kind of see this as, regardless of outcome, and I know all three of them, and I've known them for years. It's unfortunate, and I pray for the best for all of them and all of their families. But I look at this as a huge opportunity for us to do some soul searching in terms of our political system.
Carlton, I agree with you 100%. And so for me, it's like, not only do we have an opportunity next year to elect a new mayor and a new supermajority on council now, but as citizens, we should be reimagining our relationship with city council. Is that a recall measure? Like you said, is that districts? We should be reimagining city council as a whole and not just the individuals. I think it would be less than smart to just focus on personalities. We got to focus on the structure. Because like you said, maybe the structure needs to be reanalyzed.
Absolutely. And when we think about it, two of these three were elected in this last, election. This didn't just start with them, right? So this has definitely been something that has persisted. I'm not sure who we've made mad on the federal level here in Cincinnati, but somebody started digging, right? And seeing that this is the way that the system works in part. And again, not assigning culpability, to those that are going through the situation, but it'd be a fool's errand for us to believe that, it started here with this group. Particularly when we look at how some of the decisions have been made to gentrify certain spaces, even as we talk about decision making. And one sore spot for me is FC Cincinnati, because they knocked down Revelation Baptist Church right there on the corner of Liberty and John Street. And right now it's just being used as a parking lot. So, when we look at a number of these decisions that have been made over these years, like, there has to be a deeper understanding that this isn't new. This is, we do need to do some forensics, and hopefully it does lead to change. Because I would love to see more accountability and more people getting what they need in the 52 communities that represent the city of Cincinnati.
Hey, Carlton, and talk a little bit more about that, man. You mentioned it, but I'd like you to just talk a little bit more about it in terms of the Lincoln Heights movement and what you're trying to do. And then, again, you're innocent to proven guilty, but if you're a council person, it's kind of like when you get caught up with something like this, it's not kind of like, it is like, when you get caught up with something like this, all of the other things that are not connected to your corruption charges comes to a grinding halt. So over the weekend, I talked with several people who were working with those council members, whether it be PG, Jeff, and or Tamaya throughout, the last year or so, on projects that from the outside looking in seem to be positive, and it's exactly what the community needs. Now, all of that comes to a grinding halt. So what's going on inside the Lincoln Heights project movement?
So for us, we had a very fruitful hearing where we were able to get, Hamilton County commissioners and even Senator Rob Portman's offer showed up, which was unexpected, but we were grateful to have him anyway. But the conversation, we left off with that conversation, and Councilwoman Jan Michelle Lemon Kearney she's still doing her due diligence in terms of trying to find different property. But really, the next push was to push for the FOP to agree, and then to start working on the scheduling and then use the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office gun range. Like, the offer has been on the table for months. Dan Hills, when it initially came and Commissioner Denise Driehaus, put it out there, he shot down the idea, didn't even take it back to anybody. Their convenience is more important than, human rights. And we still have to have that conversation. And then also another conversation that we wanted to bring to the forefront is a community benefits agreement. Yes, that land is in Evendale, but, there's no residential property in Evendale that is up against the gun range. All the residential property is in Woodlawn and Lincoln Heights, and we have to have an intentional conversation, which is yet still to be had, about what are the benefits of, the community to the communities that were largely affected. And then the other thing that we're working on understanding the environmental impacts. There's never been an environmental study done on that land. So you think about every single gunshot, you have gunpowder and lead that flies out of the gun, right, and settles wherever it is. But so you're thinking about 75 years of that. And, there used to be, once upon a time, they used to call it the police lake. At the bottom of the property used to be a lake. So there was a water source down there as well. So there's a lot that still has to go on, and we need council's approval to get those things truly moving. But we are, we working with some folks out of UC on auditory tests as well as environmental tests, and as well as behavioral and mental health as well. Looking at that for the community, trying to get assessments done, and just understand the impacts, because we want to have that conversation about the land and what to do with it. But the environmental piece is big, and frankly, it's not welcomed, right? Because it's going to impact the sale price for the city of Cincinnati of that land. If it's found to be lead on it and it becomes a brownfield, that's going to impact developers and they have to do remediation, all those kind of things. So it's not something that they want to have a conversation about, but it's the only, prudent thing to do, given that there's never been any kind of environmental remediation on that land at all.
Interesting. Are there any other? I'm also wondering if an environmental study is not really being pushed because they might find some things they weren't looking for. Meaning, I'm wondering, are there any other environmental issues that are impacting the residents that are to the side of it? Like they have nothing to do with the Lincoln, with the police range. Is there any kind of manufacturing, hubs or anything in the Lincoln Heights area that might be contributing to an impact to the environment?
The only thing that would qualify there would be GE, and I'm not positive if there's ever been an environmental impact study, but nationwide and actually worldwide, impoverished communities get the short end of the stick when it comes to manufacturing plants, right? And even when you think about I don't know if it's Finlater technically or Witten Terrace, but they're up against all of those factories, and you see the smoke coming out and like over top of folks' heads, right? So I think that's something that is real and should be studied. But in this process, GE has definitely been a friend to us in terms of the Heights movement and Lincoln Heights. Like they've definitely extended the olive branch. And I think part of that comes from the George Floyd piece and, companies wanting to get more active and engaged in the community, or at least their employees. The GE has definitely been a friend to us.
That's great to hear. That's great to hear.
No, for sure.
Hey, Carlton, well, listen, man, you already know the doors. Are you saying something, Carlton?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, the door is always open, bro. And perhaps we can work together on some other levels. I know you guys are doing live streaming and podcasting. Maybe we can have a conversation about that. But the door is always open. Please keep us up to date on what's going on. And, I appreciate your work you're doing out there, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. And one more thing real quick.
Sure.
We've had this fortunate opportunity to launch My Brother's Keeper in Lincoln Heights. When you think about President Obama getting on and talking about a promised land. So we launched our chapter in July. We're the first My Brother's Keeper chapter here in the Cincinnati area. There is one up there in Dayton. So it's just a blessing. And we really do look to figure out how do we add capacity to these grassroots organizations who've been doing great work for years, but have been paying for things out of their own pocket. And I just wanted to kind of lift that up and just, I'm so proud of the work we're doing in Lincoln Heights around MBK and really look forward to being able to push that out and share those resources with the rest of the city.
Okay, resources? We're talking about resources? We love resources, man. We love resources. Yeah, brother. I mean, again, maybe we can schedule a time where you come on and we just talk about that. Yeah, I mean, whatever you got that's going on that's going to move us forward, I'm here for it.
No, definitely. We just here to serve.
Okay. Hey, Carlton, thank you so much for the call, man. I appreciate it.
I mean, thank you.
Yeah, most definitely. That's a great first call to start the week off here on the Nathan Ivey Show. Appreciate that, brother. He said resources? Y'all talking about resources, man? Oh, boy. What? We here for that. People love to hear that. So if this platform, again, this is about amplifying Black voices. That's why I started the Nathan Ivey Show. That's why we started CDM. That's what time it is. Everything else is just, I don't know. But I'm born and raised in the city of Cincinnati. I didn't come here like 5 years ago. I didn't come here 20 years ago. I wasn't born somewhere else. I was born at General Hospital here in the city of Cincinnati. I rep my city. I claim my city. And, with my dying last breath, I want to see us push forward to a brighter day in this city. I'm 100% committed to that. 100% in whatever I do. So if you're out here doing good work for the community, it's an open door policy. Open door. You want to do an interview? Hit me up. Or I may reach out. Either way. You know what I'm saying? Because what's the purpose of doing any kind of media if you're not serving the community? What's the purpose? Who are you serving then? That's how I look at it. Now, of course, we're going to have some fun and talk about ish and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, that's why I love what I do. So I appreciate that phone call, Carlton. And hopefully, I know somebody heard it for the first time, or maybe you're going to check this out afterward. You're not watching live. I get it. It's a lot of stuff going on. CPS is returning to virtual learning this week. We got the schedule. Boo-hoo, boy. But like I said, parents, you had them kids. They might tell you they had no children. CPS ain't responsible for your kids. If you ain't prepared to take care of them, whether it's the seen or the unforeseen, people's calling in with a whole bunch of nonsense. I couldn't see this. You are responsible as a parent for your child, for what happens that you can foresee and what you can't foresee, period. We all in this together. You can get through. We'll get through together. Shout out to CPS and all the partners. Like, there's people that are providing food on a weekly basis for CPS. Shout out to them. Shout out to those individuals. There are people you are feeding hungry people in the city of Cincinnati. You are feeding our children. And I want to say props to you and thank you for that, for those services. You got local businesses that are coming together, putting together food boxes and putting together meals for our parents and our students, for our babies, for the future. Props to you, man. Props to you. Can't say enough about it. Shout out to the Free Store Food Bank that is expanding their operations during this COVID-19 holiday season. I got nothing but respect for you. I got nothing but respect for you. And thank you for what you're doing in our community. There's a lot of people that put those food boxes together with the Free Store Food Bank that never get in the media, When we talk about these local companies and what they're doing, a lot of them are doing things, but they're not seeking attention. And so they volunteer during work hours to go over there to Tennessee Avenue warehouse and put together food boxes. They volunteer doing work time during the holiday season to go down there to what they're doing down on in downtown to, make sure they can give the food boxes out to people. It's a big operation, man. A salute to you and props to all of those individuals who go unnamed. But I recognize what you're doing out there, all the volunteers, and again, all the people that's working to support our families. I got nothing but respect for you. Nothing but respect. All right, let's go back to, not really back to, but let's go to the choppers for the first time this morning and see what's up. Pat writes, good morning. Ms. D writes, greetings. Ray writes, grand risings all. Pamela writes, good morning, Nate and the choppers. Deborah writes, good morning, Nate and the choppers. Tracy writes, hi. What did I do? What did I do? She said, Miss D, thank you so much, Miss D. She said I misspelled humans. I ain't perfect. I have to change that later on Spreaker. Sister Iris writes, good morning, great people. You can always tell the people that care about you, because when people care about you and they see you looking a little crazy, you little mistake, they don't just ride it out and be like, this fool think he's somebody and he not. They let you know. I appreciate it. King Cobalt writes, the world is yours and everything in it is out there. Get on your grind and get it. Absolutely. Shout out to Miss Ebony J. Shout out to all the people out there, all the smart entrepreneurs that's still making it happen. Like COVID-19 is a stress test. That's all it is. If we make smart moves, we can come out of this even better. Speaking of smart moves, I am developing a new podcast. It's an existing podcast that's already out here in the Cincinnati area, hosted by a black female. Where the fellas at? And the focus of it, in my opinion, is black wealth building. That's how I look. It's about wealth building. And I was having a conversation with the host, and she said something that just kind of triggered a memory. And I want to make sure I say this to you again, because you might already be doing this, but if you're not already doing it, I think during COVID-19 is even better. Okay. And I've said it for years. I'll say it again. Again, this is triggered, and I'm reminded by this by a conversation I recently had just last week. And that is, I was talking with this individual, and they was like, yeah, I'm about to do a Zoom call. It's a family wealth building Zoom call. I'm like, what? Family wealth building Zoom call? What? I love that. So apparently she was telling me like, they get on a Zoom call with the family members and talk about business. Think about that. They talk about how can we support one another, starting LLCs, investments, things like that. I love that. I love it. My heart was beating. I was like, really? I'm about that. I love it. So this Thanksgiving is going to be a little bit different for a lot of people, but I'll be here with you. I'll release the schedule this week. Of course, I'm going to take a day off here or there. I won't be here with you on Thanksgiving because you're going to be doing other things. I might even put a poll out there to see what people want to do, but I get it. It's Thanksgiving weekend, and the wifey's not traveling. It is impacting our family. My children and my wife are very accustomed to traveling. I don't always travel with them. But my wife's family, lives in Cleveland. And so this is not easy. People love to feed their family. People getting older. My mother-in-law's getting older. I don't see them a whole lot. So seeing them, sort of recharges you. And you got to love the people that's in your family, right? You want to be with them as much as possible because, as you know from your boy Nate Ivey's own experience, this ain't promised. You looking at me now, I was out of here February 2nd. I will keep making that point to the day I die. That's part of my testimony. I must share that with you because I'm going to touch people out there. They're going to be like, well, Nate looks so healthy. Yeah, looks can be deceiving. It can be real deceiving. Take care of your body, family. To all my black men out there, all the fellas out there, take care of your body. Watch what you put in your body, man. All that over-processed meat, you better step away from it. Not working out, drinking too much, smoking too much. Watch it. But anyway, I just want to put this out there because some of you are already doing it. If you're not doing it, family Zoom wealth building call. Think about that. How dope is that? If you can't build with your family and friends, who can you build with? What's more, I love my family than having conversations on how you're going to build wealth inside of your family. So I just want to put that out there. If you're not already doing it, perhaps that's something you'll think about this week. Do a Zoom call with your family and talk about starting LLCs and how you can invest with one another. You know, who's doing what? How can we support you? You know, can we get together like some kind of pool our resources? You can do an investment club. You can do an investment club with your family. Everybody put in 10. Everybody put in a certain amount of money every single month. And then y'all decide how you want to invest it. In 10, 15, 20 years, you'll have something. Maybe even before that. Why can't you get, I don't know, 10, 15 of your closest family members together and go into buying property? Floyd Mayweather said on a recent podcast that you should own a piece of the earth. I agree with him. Why can't you do that? Who's stopping you? COVID ain't stopping that. You know what I'm saying? Just do a pivot. Do a Will Chamberlain in the paint. Just pivot. You know what I'm saying? That's my pivot move. That's my Will Chamberlain. Just do a pivot. You know, why can't we do this? This is how we build our families. This is how we build wealth in our communities. I'm only sharing it with you right now. I might say it again tomorrow. Some of you are like, Nate, I'm way ahead of you, bro. We've been doing that. Cool. Great. If you're not, consider it. Consider it. That's the conversation. Don't sit around talking about old shit. Excuse me. Don't just sit around talking about old stuff and looking through pictures. Talk about how you're going to build something. Go buy a piece of property in the city of Cincinnati together. Go buy a piece of Lincoln Heights. You know what I'm saying? Go buy a piece of the neighborhood. Go buy a piece. Let's go buy the block up. You know what I'm saying? Start something. Everybody else doing it. I see all these smart, intelligent people in my timeline. They doing it. Why can't you do it? White folks doing it. Asian folks doing it. Everybody else doing it. Why can't we do that? We don't need no government programs. It don't matter who's in the White House. It don't matter what Trump does. It don't matter what Biden does. That's about you and your family. Get it done. Make it happen, Captain. I know you will. And when you do, please let us know. Because I can throw it back out there as an example of Black excellence, and then that'll attract somebody else. That's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm wrong. What do you think? 513-873-7134. Make it happen, Captain. All this old whining because you can't go to the club. Go buy you a club. Go start something. Go start you a virtual business or something like that. Make it happen. Sharp writes, good morning, Nathan and Choppers. Jared writes, good morning, hashtag team and I. Brother Mazone writes, good morning, Choppers. He writes, Choppians. Clue Magic writes, Grand Risings, Nathan and Choppers. Mason Marler writes, morning, Nathan and Choppers. Hashtag flows ready to eat for everybody. Hashtag spay and neuter all wolves. Hashtag not your Botham John party. Or not hashtag, at hey, Mr. Watt. Hashtag at Donald Trump is the girlfriend who won't leave and have to call the police. We're going to have to call the Secret Service on him. Those Black folks who was up super thick at Newport Lounge are non-voters, or they voted for Trump, which is the same thing. Really? Cass was at the Newport Lounge super thick? Why? I get everybody's different though. I'm learning that. I've already known it, but I'm learning through COVID that there's a real difference between us. There really is. Like some people are really, really, really impacted by the whole social thing. They really are. It's really hard for me to understand it. I really have no tears or tolerance for it. But I have to recognize that it's a real thing. Okay? I'm not that caught up with it. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the Virgo in me. All right? I'm cool. Family's good. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But really, I didn't see that, man. Let's go back to the phones and say good morning and welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning, buddy. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, guy. Welcome.
Hey, thank you for having me. Hey,
Sure.
I just like to point out that I noticed that you're being a little sweet on PG.
Oh, am I?
I'm sorry?
Am I?
Yeah, you are. I mean, it's like blatantly and brazen.
That's funny,
at this
man.
point.
That's funny. It's funny you would, not to cut you off, brother, but it's funny you would say that because I got a message on Friday where somebody said the exact opposite. So, you know, everybody got their perspective, but go ahead, brother.
Who said that?
Somebody. Listener. Hey, fam, I can't hear you, man.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay, yeah. I mean, because as I just remember some shows, I mean, going back to when the Gang of Five story first broke, I believe some gentleman called the alt middle called in and told you that if you're willing to be dishonest about public records, you'll be dishonest about anything.
That did happen.
And here we are.
You're right about that.
You know, 40% of the Gang of Five, and there's probably going to be another, and that'll make it 60% of the Gang of Five eating up federal charges. But to you, they were just text messages.
Yeah, I stand by that. I thought that the Gang of Five thing was politically motivated. Not I thought. It was politically motivated and ultimately a waste of our taxpayer and media time. I stand by that. You think
maybe that's why that special prosecutor said it was a nothing burger, because he knew federal charges were coming.
Or maybe it was maybe two things are true at the same time. Maybe it was a nothing burger, and yet the federal charges still came.
And he knew federal charges were coming. Well, it just goes to show, like you were told specifically, if you'll be dishonest about open records, it shows that you'll be dishonest about anything. The most citizen-friendly law on the book, you're willing to be dishonest about it. Okay?
I hear you.
PG is an unconscionable jerk-off. Okay, let's just call a spade a spade.
That's fair. I mean, you
also,
your opinion.
in those text messages, he went off, said he also tweeted something about me and corruption. That he was referring to was the Mac twin, who his insolence and crying, PG I'm talking about, cost that young black man a job with the city.
No, that's not what happened.
Oh, did he not? Did they not reprimand him in front of council?
He deserved to be reprimanded in front of council.
So his tweet was correct though.
Well, I'm just saying again. In my opinion,
either his tweet was correct or not, Burr.
Well, that's your question, but in my opinion, if I remember correctly, because I can't remember everything that Mr. Mack was tweeting, but he was on some dumb-ish. He was kind of tweeting some things that I think were beneath a person that would, represent us as a member of city council or in any way. You know what I'm saying? So he had to deal with the consequences of his own actions, just like PG and Tamaya and Jeff are right now. Same thing.
I know. Karma's just a bad boy. PG cost that young brother.
It ain't karma. It's consequence of your actions.
Oh, well, whatever you want to call it. He was hiding that stuff. Yeah, like, I hate to reframe it, but you were told what the Gang of Five, what that would really suggest. Maybe when the Gang of Five story broke, that's when the Village said, I'm about to get these fools. Because he understands if you're dishonest about simple open records, the most user-friendly law in the books, you will be dishonest about anything.
I understand your stretch. I understand your point.
You were warned.
Warned?
You were given an explanation. Yes, that your boy was going to go down. You were warned that this was about to take place.
Hold on. I wasn't warned about anything. That's the wrong word to use.
No.
You and the alt middle shared your opinion, which you're entitled to, but I'm not in a position to be warned about anything because my ass ain't on the line. You talking about what somebody else did?
No, you were warned that something like this is more likely going to happen.
No, I wasn't. I mean, you told me your opinion about what you thought about.
Okay.
I hear you though.
To quote Mitch McConnell, you were warned, you were given an explanation, yet you persisted in protecting the white goose. PG.
I can't win for losing. That's why I just do me.
And to show you how much of a jerk off he really is, he hired a lawyer who hired a baby killer. His baby killing client. But that's your man's dope.
Who was that? Can you explain, please?
Ridgers.
Okay.
Charlie Ridgers, that's his lawyer.
Okay. Who is Charlie Ridgers?
The guy who represented the baby killer in Warren County, Skylar Richardson.
Okay. What's your point?
He represented and hired her.
I don't understand what your point is.
Maybe there is no point. I just don't. I wouldn't hire a lawyer who hired a baby killer, who represented and hired a baby killer.
I think
the man is unscrupulous. The man is unscrupulous.
Just like I thought you were stretching when you was trying to make the Gang of Five text message thing a big deal. I thought that was a stretch. I still think it was a stretch.
You thought that was a big deal then, but
No,
now your man's in there. 40% of them are in federal court. 40% of them are in federal court now, though. But it was a stretch back then because when that law was written, the technology wasn't what it is. But it was a stretch when we brought that up back then.
That was facts.
You were warned. You were given an explanation, yet you persisted, and you continue to.
I don't give a damn
you
about
need
your
to
warning.
stop. You need to stop and let that boy have it. You need to stop. You need to stop and attack him with the same vigor you attack Councilman Pastor with.
I attack council. You talking about when
I don't want to do it. Exactly. I know.
Wait, you talking about when I did the Gotcha Radio? Gotcha interview?
You know what? That's a thing of local lore with this show. I've never heard that interview. That's like the one episode I missed in your early beginning.
Yeah,
I did not catch that interview.
I attacked him. You know, people said when I interviewed Pastor, I don't know when it was, a year or two ago, people said it was Gotcha Radio and I attacked him. Is that what you mean by I attacked him? I don't look at it that way. To me, it's just
no. When he was arrested, you were laughing. You were
laughing.
You were celebrating. You were rejoicing.
No,
you were rejoicing when he went down. Oh,
no.
Yes, the hell you were 2 weeks ago.
No, actually, I wasn't.
Oh, okay. I sense a sense of joy.
Well,
you weak with your soul. You talking all that smack about tomorrow. Now look at your black ass.
No, I didn't say that. Nah, I mean.
No, you didn't. Those weren't your exact words, but
it wasn't the exact words, the tone, or anything else. But anything else?
Oh, hey, no, I'm good. Be safe, B.
Yeah, you too, man. Appreciate it. Yeah. Like I said, you're entitled to your opinion, but you can never put words in my mouth. So, no, I don't rejoice when people go to jail. I'm very, very clear about that. I don't care if you're black or white, but especially black folks, it's never a good deal. And like I said, that's why I was just talking about this just yesterday with somebody that, may do or is going to do a podcast with CDM. And I told him that when you do this and you step into this arena, you got to have thick skin. Because people are going to say whatever. And that's a great example of it. People going to say, and they're going to project, what they want you to say and what they think about you on all different levels. So, after doing this for many, many years, I just do me. Right, wrong, or whatever. Take it or leave it. Think what you fucking want to think. I know who I am. I'm very consistent about it. And it is what it is. I did an interview with Jeff Pastor, I don't know, maybe a year or two ago. I think he was, I can't remember when it was. I say between the last year, maybe year and a half. As soon as he got off the air, people was talking about it was Gotcha Radio. Gotcha Radio? I just asked the man about the things that are happening in the media. What are you talking about? Jeff Pastor's got on the air on this show whenever he wanted to. You know what I'm saying? I bigged him up. Like, listen, I say it again. I've said it over and over again. I stand by what I said. In my belief, I thought that Jeff Pastor had the ability to do awesome things for our community. How many times you heard me say that? That last call obviously missed all of that. So no, that's just not really my style. And if you listen to me and not what some people are saying about me, then that's a better way of getting where I'm coming from. But what I like to do is explain it because I think sometimes people can miss things. So I want you to know exactly where I'm coming from. But like I said, I got a message on Friday and somebody's like, damn, you was hard on PG. That's why I don't worry about none of that. I said what I said. It is what it is. You like it, you like it. You don't like it, you don't like it. But you're innocent until proven guilty, as I've said about Mr. Pastor and Mr. Sinfield. And I will say the same thing about you, Fang. So it really doesn't matter. I'm consistent, man. I mean, the principles that I put in place and put out there, it don't matter who the personality is. Don't matter who it is. I'm going to look at it the same way, up and down. So, check the tape. All those tapes are out there. Check it out for yourself. Simple as that. So I'll leave that to you. Like if you want to dance on somebody's grave of fame, go right ahead and do that, bro. That's you. That's not really my style. Like I said, I'm going to take a wait and see approach as it relates to Mr. Pastor, as I've been saying before we heard about Mr. Sittenfield. And I'm going to do the same thing, Mr. Sittenfield. Now, when and if they plead guilty and something changes, the conversation changes. That's different. That's different. But until then, I like to give people the latitude I think that, they deserve, per the circumstances. So But again, I get it. It's the court of public opinion. People have the different opinions about whatever. I'm here for that. You know what I'm saying? Let me put the number back up again. If you feel the exact same way, feel free to call in and share your opinion. 513-873-7134. Feel free. You ain't going to change me, though. You don't get that. What you get when you call that number is the opportunity to amplify your thoughts. You ain't going to change mine per se. Now, I'm not saying I'm unmovable. If you call in and it makes sense, I'm going to give you, that makes sense. But if it don't, I ain't budging, period. Care who it is or what we talking about. That's just how I look at it. But I appreciate the call, man. That's what it's all about. 513-873-7134. Tanika writes, good morning, Nate in the Chopper. Say good morning to you, Tanika. Fox writes, rise and shine, young stars. Good to see you, Fox. Thank you both for your support. King Klobar writes, that was probably Marcus Jenkins looking for lost Trump ballots in your car. You hilarious. It was probably, somebody dealing with a drug problem. That's what I think it was. Drugs that made people do all kind of crazy things. It really was. It really would. Again, it ain't the first time it's happened. It's just because of COVID, I'm like super, super sensitive about it. What are we talking about? Somebody went through my car. I would say they broke into my car because they went into my vehicle while I was in the driveway. I mistakenly didn't lock the door last night. And after I came home, and somebody caught me slipping. And, it happens. And, moral of the story, make sure your doors are locked. Ashley writes, good morning, Nathan and the Choppers. But then you never know, because if the door was locked, they might have broke the window. Might have to have a $200 charge right now and all kind of glass in the car. So, you got to do what you got to do out here. Pamela writes, morning. Good morning to you. Brother Mazzone writes, that injury looks ugly, worse than Carson Palmer. If he does come back from that, he isn't going to be 100%. Well, as I understand it, medical science, sports medical science, has gone through amazing transformation since when Carson Palmer got injured and now. An ACL is not the same. An ACL injury is not the same now as it was. What was that, 15 years ago? It ain't the same. So I hope that they call him Joey B. I hope Joey B bounces back. Yeah, I hope he bounces back. All my Bengal friends, they looking sad today. I mean, it is what it is, man. And nowhere am I laughing at his injury. I'm just laughing at you Bengal fans. Like, y'all was going to turn it around and get to the playoffs. It wasn't going to happen. Number one is because you need a better coach. The coach sucks. And see, these injuries are going to mask just how much the coach sucks. So they're going to keep Zachary, because Zachary's going to go in and tell Mike Brown, like, we had a tough year. We had injuries to the quarterback. And Mike Brown's going to say, yeah, well, attaboy. Get out there next year. We'll see what you do. So it's delaying the inevitable. I don't have a lot of confidence in the coach. I'm sorry. That's just me. Call me biased. It is what it is. Brother Mazzone writes, yeah, punk ass Mr. Silver Spoons bailed out that clown Rittenhouse. I did see that, Brother Mazzone. Kyle Rittenhouse posted $200,000 bail. I'm like, damn, he got money like that? No, it was $2 million. So that means it was 10%, $200,000, I think it was. What in the hell? Now, if you don't know, Kyle Rittenhouse is the young white killer. That's what he is. In my opinion, he's a psycho sicko who went to Wisconsin and killed 2 people. He never should have been there. His mama dropped him off. Bad mother. And they need to watch his ass because he might kill somebody while he's out on bail. I don't trust him. It's something about the eyes. How many 17-year-olds are getting weapons, driving out of their home by their mother to kill people? In my heart, I believe he went to murder somebody. That's what I believe. I'm sorry. That's what I believe. I could be wrong about that. That's what my belief is, that he went to kill somebody and got away with it. That's just my personal belief. Y'all can say I'm wrong, but again, as you know, I ain't afraid to be wrong. I ain't afraid to be wrong. Let me know. Brenda writes, happy Monday. Do y'all watch that docudrama on HBO called Between the World and Me this weekend? I did not, Brother Mazzone. Is it good? Tracy writes, any Westchester residents in here? Anybody from Westchester out there? Los Angeles, this is for you. Exactly. Clue Magic writes, being spat upon is an instant invite to a fight. Oh, man, that's an instant knockout right there. That's an instant knockout right there. That's what you doing? Oh, you spat upon me? Oh, okay, we got something for that. It's called You Are Done. It's called You Are Done. That's what it's called. Let me play this video for you. This is an example of what I mean when I say that humans are worse than the coronavirus. The coronavirus is the worst of our problems. Our real problem are some of our neighbors, not you, not the people that listen to this show. You listen to this show on a regular basis. Oh, you're a smart, intelligent person. I already know that. Generally speaking. Generally speaking. Outside of that, it's your neighbors, the people you work with, is on that dumbish. That's who I blame. I don't blame you. But it's COVID is the least of our issues. The real issues is this white male. His name is Raymond. Let me get it right here. Raymond Dinkins, I believe it is. I'm sorry, Raymond Deskins. This incident happened. I'll play this video for you real quick. This video happened outside of Trump National Golf Club, which is located in, where is it located? I'm not sure exactly where it's located. One of these states in one of these cities in these United States, but it's called the Trump National Golf Club. Yeah, Trump has real businesses. And apparently there were some protesters out there, and there was two women, and this brother, he actually like blew some of his Trump hot air into the faces of these women. Like, I'm gonna show you. Oh, you got a problem? I'm gonna show you. You're gonna have a real problem now. Let me play this for you. You gotta see this. If I can pull it up here. Let me see here. You gotta see this. This is crazy. You gotta see and hear this to believe it. Okay. It might even be better though if I just play the audio for you. Let me do it that way. I think that might be better. This is crazy. Nuts. And the police are now looking for this man because he blew his hot breath on somebody. Dude's out here wearing an inflatable Trump pool tube. Like an inflatable pool tube. Like you see kids or people floating around like an inflatable tube. Well, this one has Trump's face on it. And he wasn't in a pool. He's like walking around, and he's just walking around like this just to antagonize people. You can't make this up, man. You cannot make this up, family. This is like real life. And he's out here walking around, and I guess he wants to be taken seriously. Now, how can you take a man seriously walking around like this? Hold, give me 1 second here. Inflatable. Oh my God. He got the t-shirt on and he's got the whole 9 yards, right? You got to see this. Let me see this. I'm having some issues bringing the video up, so I'll just play the audio for you, which actually may work better because I don't want to alienate my people that's on the audio only file and not watching on video. So give me 1 second here because it's refreshing and coming up right now. This is wild, y'all. Straight up. This is what's happening in this America.
Get away from me! No,
do what you want.
Get away!
I'm not in anybody's face.
You are in my face, and you don't have a mask. You need to back up. That's assault. That's a
I breathed on you.
That's a
food. So you hear him go, ooh. And then the second sound you hear is like the recoil from the woman. She was like, like, this is the craziest thing ever, man.
Get it?
Oh my God, let me play this back. See, the video does you more justice. It does you so much more justice. Let me pull this back again. You got to hear this. This is crazy. Like, this is what passes as activism now in some parts of the country. People out here antagonizing each other, blowing on each other.
Get away from me! No,
do what you want.
Get away!
I'm not in anybody's face.
You are in my face, and you don't have a mask. You need to back up. That's assault. That's a good.
I breathed on you.
That's a food. Good. Get it? That's assault. That's assault. All right.
Is that an assault? That's what he did. Is that an assault? And as we go into 2021? Yeah, I don't know. How would you feel about this? So you having a conversation, maybe you're in an argument with somebody, right? A stranger. And maybe they're arguing with you about a mask or something political or I don't know what type of pants you're wearing, whatever it takes in these United States these days, right? And they go, ooh, right in your face. Is that a charge? Well, it might be. He's been charged now. This is happening in London County, Virginia. The police are looking for this man. Like, I went to their Twitter page. They announced that they're looking for this man, basically. And he's going to be charged with what? I don't know. But it goes back with a misdemeanor. Authorities announced a misdemeanor assault charge against Raymond Deskins, 61 years old, a resident of Sterling, Virginia. He was released on a summons. So they actually had him in custody because he breathed on somebody real hard. Is that fair? The hell? What in the hell? Daryl is on Facebook. He writes, good morning, Nathan Chopper. Sad day in Bengal Nation. Yeah, it is. It's sad for that, man. It is. For Joey B. Lee writes, good morning, all. Jada writes, damn, it just flipped. Hold on. I was at the beginning of the tweets and then went to the bottom of the tweets. Jada Marie writes, good morning to all. Sean writes, what's up, Nathan the Choppers? Glenn writes, morning, Nathan the Choppers. Flows, hashtag ready to eat for everybody. Hashtag I'm back like Mike Tyson with this license back. Hashtag no more hiding. Frenay writes, good morning. Danita writes, good morning. This is going to be a marvelous Monday, and it isn't because this is only a 2-day work week, LOL. That's a good day. That's a real, just 2 days? I know CPS is just 2 days. Hooray, hooray, right? 2-day work week out of 5? Lovely. Andrea writes, morning, Nathan friends. Charles writes, good morning, Nathan the Choppers. Samantha's on YouTube. She writes, good morning, all. Hey, Kelly Prather writes, good morning, great people. Hey, Kelly, we got to catch up for an interview. I know you're running for mayor. I want to interview you here. I've got Raphael Prophet scheduled for tomorrow at 9 a.m. I want to get you in ASAP, you know, so we can just talk just about that. I know you've been calling in and talking about different things, but I just want to talk about just your mayoral candidacy, your campaign. And again, with PG Sittenfield, again, I don't want to get out ahead of myself because I want to be fair. Nobody is pled in that particular case as we know it. But by all indications, to me, it's going to be a tough climb for PG to still be in the mayoral race. I've been talking about this with a lot of folks. I shared this with you in my thoughts the day we found out about it, which was it Thursday? And then on Friday? I mean, for PG to remain a viable candidate for mayor, to me, a bunch of things have to fall in place. They got to fall in place perfectly, and I still don't think it's going to work for him. Here's my thoughts on it. What I mean by that is, you know, let's say that PG Sittenfield beats all these charges, okay? That might not be enough to sway public opinion because what will happen is, and I'm spitballing here, is that people in the community, primarily black people, may hold it against him like, oh, he just got out because of white privilege. Tell me I'm wrong. Let's say Jeff Pastor is removed from city council by the end of the month. Let's say he's suspended, and again, right now, he is innocent until proven guilty. He's fighting the charges. But let's say he decides to cop a plea. So that means you got 2 black members of city council that cop pleas, they're removed from city council. PG Sittenfield's a white male Democrat. If he beats those charges, something tells me that black people be looking at him like, oh, white privilege got you out of it. I think that black voters would take that out on him if he stays in the mayoral's race. I'm spitballing here. You stop me when I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong, if you disagree with me. 513-873-7134. That's a tough road. I think for him to remain viable, he would have to beat the charges. But not only beat the charges, I think he would have to beat the charges in a way in which it's kind of like there was some straight up corruption and political motivation and he was the target of it. And it's very, very, very evident. It can't be in the margins. It can't be gray because we're talking about public opinion. In the world of public opinion, facts don't mean as much. Facts don't mean, we had Fame calling here talking nonsense. No facts, illogical, but facts don't mean as much in the world, in the court of public opinion. Like in the court of law, it's about facts and race and privilege and skin color. We know that. But it's about the facts. In a court of public opinion, it's just about how you feel. You know what I'm saying? That's a really, really tough, steep, how's that? That's a tough, steep climb for Mr. Sittenfield, in my opinion. Now, you might be like, no, Nate, you wrong. Okay. All right, we'll wait and see. But there's a bunch of things going on there. Number one, the charges, and number two, being elected to be mayor. And, you know, if the feds have him on tape, we haven't heard the tapes. The tape is a whole different thing. So it's one thing for the media and DeVillers and the agents to say these are the quotes that were released. It's another if they actually release the audio and you can hear people's voices on there. It's gonna hit differently. It's gonna hit differently. Okay, this is just my thoughts on it. You tell me what you think about it, because we all spitballing and speculating and talking about what we heard and things like that. I'm just being straight up honest with you. We don't know yet. We have to wait and see. So what does that mean? Why am I saying this? That means that Kelly Prather. That means that Raphael Prophet. That means that David Mann. The Cincinnati Inquirer did a very interesting piece, and this is what they do. I don't remember who it was written by. And they were talking about people that were viable to run for mayor. There were some interesting names on there. Some very interesting names. Let me see if I can find the article real quick. Some very interesting names right there. Denise Driehaus' name was on there. Yeah, her name was on there. Let me see here. Here it is. Here's who could be Cincinnati's next mayor, written by Jason Williams. Let me see here. Again, I just throw it out here as a conversation piece. Christopher Smitherman was the top of the list. Apparently, he was on 700 WLW because he still has a moratorium on black media. It is what it is. And I can tell from the way this is written that Jason Williams is 100% on the Smitherman's bandwagon. Denise Driehaus, as I said, from what I'm reading, Driehaus will be a top contender. She was the county's top vote getter among local candidates this year. Could you see Denise Driehaus as mayor? If Denise Driehaus, I mean, again, Smitherman, I think, would be a strong contender. I think that Denise Driehaus would be a strong contender. Mark Mallory. What? A name from the past. Former mayor of Cincinnati. Now, what's interesting here is that he endorsed P.G. Sittenfeld. How do I know? We seen it. I was there at the P.G. Sittenfeld mayoral press conference when he announced that he was running for mayor formally. People had heard about it and knew about it for some time. Mark Mallory was there. I spoke with Mark Mallory. We did a live stream. Some of you might remember that. Fanon Rucker. How's that hit you, family? Fanon Rucker for mayor. Let's sit with it for a second. Fanon Rucker for mayor. Now, we know that white female Democrats, white suburban white female Democrats did Fanon dirty. They did that brother dirty because they went down the line and voted for all the Democrats. But when they got to Hamilton County prosecutor, they bought into that nonsense that Joe Dieters was selling with all that money he had. Oh, he's going to open it. Like I told you, he's going to open the floodgates and the black and brown hordes are going to rise up from the belly of the beast and try to take over your cul-de-sac. They believed it. They believed it. I think that they believed it. They believed it. Because you see Fanon Rucker running for mayor. I'm throwing names out. This is from Jason Williams' article. I thought it was interesting, so I throw it out there. Bridget Kelly. Bridget Kelly. Could you see Bridget Kelly? She's a state lawmaker. Could she run for mayor in Cincinnati? Avtab Pureval, current clerk of courts. From what I'm reading here, Jason Williams believes that Avtab is looking toward D.C., he's looking at Congress. But could Avtab Pureval? There were rumors out there that Avtab Pureval was thinking about running for mayor and then got out because PG was already out there and raising money. Could this be an opening for Avtab? All interesting. Cecil Thomas, state senator. He faces being term limited in 2022. Again, from Jason Williams' perspective, apparently his name is at the top of the list as well. Greg Hartman, former county commissioner, who, from what I'm reading, is eager to get back into political office after nearly 5 years away. There's some of those names, I'll be honest with you, that I'm more into than others. But again, this is written from Jason Williams, who writes for the Inquirer. A lot of people reference and read his column. I'll throw it out there. We already have Kelly Prather, David Mann, David Amadeus Mann, who loves to put white wigs on black kids during his campaign commercials. Can we expect to see more of the same with his mayoral campaign? Is he going to put white wigs on black kids for his mayoral campaign? I'll be honest with you. I keep it real with you. I ain't feeling man. I stand by what I said. One thing about me, I am consistent. If I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong, and I'm not going to be moved from my viewpoint because of what somebody says. I feel the same way about man. I mean, his lack of give a damn about the issues that really matter at that budget and finance meeting at the Duke Energy Convention Center, to me, is a forever stain in my memory. I can't wipe it away. Because what you do in a moment of crisis says everything about you, family. It says everything about you. What you do in a moment of crisis says everything about you. It's cool to be cool when everything cool. That's easy. But when ish hits the fan and now tempers are flaring, it's getting heated, it's getting hot, you under pressure, mofos in your face, they demanding things. What you do in that moment says a lot about you. And we saw David Mann walk out. I believe he'd do the same thing if he became mayor. I think he'd walk out on the people. Now, David Mann supporters might say, well, Nate, you're being unfair. Well, so what? No, I'm being as fair to David Mann as David Mann was to those people who I believe had legitimate and valid concerns and demands. And at the very least, if you're a member of city council at a time like this, you owe it to the people to stand there and listen. That's all you got to do is listen. They didn't ask you to roll up your sleeve and give a quart of blood. All they said was listen. Yeah, they might have been yelling, but you got to understand that people are frustrated. People are angry. You got to understand that. You can't get in your feelings and walk away at a time like that. That's weak leadership. It's weak leadership. So that's just me with David Mann. I'm going to get off of that because I want to be fair to David Mann as well in terms of between now and next year, hearing what he has to offer. He might say something between now and then that might change the perception of him. And that could happen. A lot of people was like, Kelly running for mayor, why? And I get it. I definitely understand it. But I stand by, if everybody, you had a right to run for anything. We telling people that we always out here trying to tell people to get involved with the system. And then when somebody get involved, you want to tell them to sit down. If you want to run for mayor, run for senator, you want to run for whatever, do it. Do it. That's why I supported Herman Najoli, in terms of the basic concept of him running. Okay. I didn't vote for him because I didn't think he was ready. But I thought the brother had a good spirit. And we always saying that we want different types of people that don't come from, some political pedigree or born with a silver spoon in their mouth to represent us. And then when somebody shows up, we want to ridicule them. I ain't going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Like I said, city council, I don't care who you are. You could be the #1 projected council person, or you could be somebody that people think you have no chance whatsoever. On this platform, I'm going to give you the same time because you might say something. I don't want to discredit anybody's ideas. You might have an idea that's rocking like, oh, okay. Oh, I didn't think about it. Okay, great. I want to give you that latitude on, at least with me. I can't say what anybody else to do, but at least with me, you always have an open door policy. I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you're a Republican. I don't care if you're independent. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're white. I don't care if you trans. I don't care if you gay. I don't care if you straight us. I'm going to give you at least some serious time. Now, if you come on here with some dumb ish, I'm not going to spare nothing. I'm going to say that to you. If you ain't looking right, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you straight up like, hey, you need to change your hair color. Remember that? With the sister, the young white female with the crazy, I don't know what her hair was color. Wait, no. I can't take you seriously with pink hair, green hair, blue hair. I'm sorry. And I told her. And I would do that with anybody because to me, I mean, if you gonna hate me for being truthful, cool. I mean, it is what it is. But enough of me, though, man. Let me go back to the phones and welcome our next call in. You can call in as well at 513-873-7134. Hey, good morning and welcome to the Nathan Ivey Show. What's going on, brother?
Good morning, Mr. Ivey. This is your West Side Connection. The one and only, yours truly, Drop Squad 52, out here in California. Under curfew, the COVID curfew. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. COVID curfew. How long is Governor, is it Gavin? How long has he got you guys locked down up over in California?
It's Gavin Newsom, and it is from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m., and I think it's until December, mid-December sometime.
Okay. So see, that's the same thing that's happening here in Ohio. It seems like the governors have gotten together and said, look, we're all going to make a move together. Like,
yeah, you know why? You know why, Mr. Ivey?
I've got some thoughts on it, yeah, but what's your thought?
Oh, it's pretty obvious. They're trying to get that 2.3 COVID relief package that Nancy Pelosi has been holding on to and blaming it on Mitch and the GOP down in the Senate because they only want 1.3. Because if you remember the little spat between New York Governor Cuomo and not so much Gavin Newsom, but it was mainly Cuomo who asked for $500 billion in relief, which was part of the Heroes package, and that's why it got rejected. So now they're going to hold out, and they're coming back to these threats of lockdown, and they've actually changed the wording. They went away from the word lockdown and switched over to curfew because that's less. I mean, obviously, you can see the two words sound different and a little less restrictive mentally when you hear the word lockdown. So that's their strategy. And believe me, Mr. Ivey, they're just waiting this whole thing out until Donald Trump finishes doing what he's doing and they swear Joe Biden in. That's when they're going to sign the relief package of the 2.3, and these states will get their money, and then they'll be able to so-called open up again and lift some of these restrictions. That's just my take.
Aren't you
because
embarrassed by
it's
Donald
always
Trump?
about the money.
Aren't you embarrassed by Donald Trump as a Trump supporter?
Why would you choose to go that route instead of commenting on what I just said about them trying to get this money? And they're using the American people like they always do.
Well, I hear you. It's just as you were talking and you said something about Trump or made some reference to the administration. Just made me. I just threw it out there, man. I mean, what an
Mr. Ivey,
what an
it's 4 years.
Embarrassing display,
Mr. Ivey, it's 4 years of Donald Trump. Okay,
I'm talking about what he's doing right
with
now,
the media, his battles with the Democrats, his battle with the tech companies and social media.
He's trying to invalidate black
documented
votes in Georgia. They're targeting districts where black people vote in this.
I don't care, Mr. Ivey. If you want
to try to get Trump to be the president.
No. But Mr. Ivey, you're just playing the race card again because of those two runoff elections in January. And Raphael Warnock, he needs the race card 5, 6, 7 times for him.
No, brother.
Because he's going to have trouble getting white folks in Georgia to vote for him.
Well, he had no problem winning the first time. He was the front runner in that race. The only reason why it triggered a runoff is because of Georgia election laws, and the race was statistically so close. But if it was just a straight out
you have to get 51%.
Vote,
you have to get 51%.
The Reverend would have won already.
Mr. Ivey.
So I don't think he's going to have a problem out there. But that has nothing to do why I said that to you, Drop. The reason why I said that to you is because
you're playing the race card. You're playing up the race card.
Nothing to do with the race card,
you're talking about something that doesn't matter.
I simply want to give you an opportunity to distance yourself from that clown.
I don't need to.
In the White House. Do you support what he's doing right now? Trying to undermine our democracy? I thought you loved this country.
I keep telling you, sir. I keep telling you that I do not worship false idols, okay? I am a Republican voter who got game on the radio, on the podcast, and know how to drop that science.
So
That's
you're
all
not
I
going
do,
to denounce
sir.
the actions
So
of Trump
as
right
far
now?
as me, Mr. Ivey, I ain't gonna be no more embarrassed about the president of the United States, whether it be the 45th, the 44th, or the 43rd. I could care less as long as my,
You
as long
voted
as my
for this man
situation is good.
twice. This man lost the
I voted for
election
the
fair and
Republican
square.
Party twice.
Right. And that meant voting for Trump twice. This man lost
Yeah.
the election fair and square. He's out here trying to invalidate black votes, whining like a child, talking about he didn't lose the election. I'm giving you a chance to denounce these kind of actions, but you're not going to take it, huh? Damn shame.
But what's the point in me? Okay, let me ask you this. Okay, all right.
It'll send
Can
a
I give
message
you what
to
you
people
want?
listening.
If I give you what you want, will you be satisfied?
It's not about me, brother. It's really about you. I'm giving you.
No, you just told me, Mr. Ivey.
I just told you that I'm giving you an opportunity. I'm giving you
Okay, so
an
I'm
opportunity.
asking you, if I give you what you want, right?
It's not
Will
about
you be
me, brother.
satisfied?
It's not
Yes,
about
it is.
me,
You're
brother.
asking me because you feel that there's something that you need that requires you to offer an opportunity for me to somehow do something that's going to change something in your opinion.
Listen,
of me
I see a man,
when it comes to Donald Trump. But
see,
Mr. Ivey, I ain't that dude. But you are a hell of a host.
I see a man. Can I get it out, sir?
To run
I see a man drowning in hypocrisy, and I'm throwing you a life raft. Either you're going to grab it
when I'm not in the water.
swim to the
I'm
shore.
not in the water. I don't
and
need
swim
to
to
be
the shore
saved.
and get on dry land
sir.
and common sense with the rest of us, or you going to drown in your own hypocrisy? You ain't doing me a favor.
No,
I'm doing you a favor.
First of all, Mr. Ivey, I'm not that dude. And if you talking about throwing me a lifeline.
Yes, I'm trying to help you out.
Why?
Because I see a black man drowning in his own hypocrisy as it relates to supporting this Trump guy, and I'm trying to help you out.
Okay,
Either you're going to take
Mr.
it or
Ivey.
not, brother. Either if you're not going to take it, cool. You're going to drown in your own hypocrisy. I'm trying to help you out.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Mr. Ivey, I am so ashamed and embarrassed that the president, Donald Trump, he's acting this way. Oh. Did you like my impression? Did you like my impression of Van Jones from CNN? The crying. Oh, by the way, Mr. Ivey, that crying Negro Network video that I made got me suspended on Twitter for 12 hours.
What? Man, see, Twitter's gonna mess around and ban you. You're gonna be mad.
No, I'm good. I know how to play the game. Like I said, Mr. Ivey.
Why they ban
Donald Trump lost. And the fact that his campaign and his lawyers are doing what they're doing, he's just sticking it to him, Mr. Ivey. They F with this man for 4 years.
Not sticking it to anybody.
Deem his administration illegitimate. They said he was a Russian operative. They said Putin was booty. Come on, Mr. Ivey. Don't get me started. Okay? All Trump is doing now is payback. He's trying to make Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, appear to be illegitimate. That's
but
all.
He's not doing that.
That's all he's trying to do.
What he's really doing is making himself seem like a sore loser. That's all he's really doing. He's making himself look weak.
Mr. Ivey, why do you think the man has changed his behavior since the election?
Who's changed his behavior? He hasn't.
Donald Trump has. You got overseers in the chop shop by the name of Mr. Cleophas, also known as Mason Mahler.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about, where Trump? He quiet now. He ain't saying nothing now. Where at? Ooh, he hide. He weak. He scared. Ooh.
He's always been weak.
The man has.
He's always been scared. He never stepped up to the moment when it came to COVID and anything else as it relates to anybody.
Mr.
This
Ivey,
is par for the course.
Mr. Ivey.
Which is a great reference to golf, because that's what he's doing right now. Golfing.
Okay, but see,
when he should be leading.
Like I told Mason Mahler in the chop shop.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait for 2021 for the Biden-Harris administration, also known as the Obama-Biden remix, the shadow president, the third term of Barack Hussein Obama. Because word on the street, Mr. Ivey, that Donald Trump and Barack Obama are working behind the scenes with you know who. The man behind versus.
Who?
You know who he is, right?
No, I don't. Who?
Swiss Beats.
Swiss Beats.
The dude is married to, yes.
And
right.
they're
He's
working
married to
on what?
Alicia Keys.
And what are they working on, allegedly?
He's working behind the scenes with Donald Trump and Barack Obama.
With Donald Trump, or you
to
mean
do
Joe
a-
Biden?
No, Donald Trump versus Barack Obama in a battle, live stream, and they're gonna raise money for charity. Donald Trump versus Barack Obama. You know how they used to do the celebrity roast on Comedy Central back in the day?
Yes, I do.
Okay, this is what I'm hearing. My sources, words on the street, Swiss Beats, because of the success of the Young Jeezy and the Gucci Mane versus, which was the most gross of all time. They're working behind the scenes.
Where are you
get
reading
some
this?
popping. Mr. Ivey, trust but verify.
I just tried to. I
Okay.
couldn't.
Since you messed up my call,
tried
what
to
I
save
wanted
your
to call about, and I don't want to waste no more time, because if I go more than 7 minutes, things start to get a little
They do. They do.
look, Junior walk in and say, "Good morning, everybody." You know how that works. Boy, Mr. Ivey, that boy is a chip off the old block.
It's like his spider sense to go.
But,
He's like upstairs. His spider sense to go off like drops on the line with my daddy talking dumbish, and he'll just come downstairs, huh? Yeah, he's got it too.
I know I'm his favorite caller. I see you, Junior. All right, so Mr. Ivey, I'll save my original call for another time.
Okay.
But all I'm saying,
Take
Mr.
that lifeline,
Ivey,
brother.
Donald Trump, huh?
So take that lifeline, brother. Take that lifeline, man.
Oh,
Take that lifeline.
So now you Captain Save a Coon.
I'm not gonna call you a coon, man. That's not really my style.
See, I see you laughing. I
had to let it sit in for a second. I'm like, wait a minute. That's not really my style to call you a coon like that. But I mean, if that's how you want to self-describe, brother, you go right ahead.
But you know what they say, Mr. Ivey. If they ain't talking about you, you ain't relevant. Drop Squad
True.
52. Dropping science
True.
to anyone who wants to catch it. Please.
True. I'm reading that Ohio Attorney General David Yost announced today that he'll be seeking to suspend Cincinnati City Councilman P.G. Sittenfield after Sittenfield's arrest on federal bribery charges. Quote, "We will go to the Supreme Court today to seek suspension of Cincinnati Councilman P.G. Sittenfield during his federal corruption case. Every defendant is presumed innocent in court, but it'd be foolish to ignore the risk of allowing him to wield public power under indictment." So that's coming to an end. And again, you could have anticipated this. I mean, look at what happened with Tamaya Denard. Look at what happened with Jeff Pastor. So, this is par for the course, another golf reference, because that's all that Trump is doing right now. That's all he's doing right now. It is what it is, homie. But let me circle back around. We have Brother Carlton, man. Sounds like they're doing big things out there. And again, from what I see, man, it warms my heart when I see so many people that look like us, that look like me and you, that's in the city of Cincinnati trying to move that needle when it comes to equity, policy, and tangibles. I support everybody, 100%, 1,000%. I love it. And whether it be the new generation, the civil rights community, generation XYZ, elemental P, QRS, it makes no difference to me because I think it's beautiful. And I think they're going to be successful. I hope that they're all successful on all levels. Well, now I do. Yeah. No, I'm not good on the T. Thank you. Yeah, I'll take some more. Okay. Yeah, I like that. I'm cool. I'm a lucky man. That's all I can say. All right, where was I? Wifey distracted me. I can't remember what I was talking about. Oh, yeah. Equity policy intangibles and like what I'm seeing people are doing is great. Hopefully these individuals collectively, individually, but hopefully collectively will come together and push for a greater tomorrow for all of us. And I think it's wonderful. So going back to what Carlton said, I think that what we should be thinking about as Cincinnati voters, I think we should be thinking about how do we structurally change our relationship with city council? Is it faircincy.org? Shout out to those people. Previous to all of this stuff, this was going back to early last year, and maybe even before that, they put forth an idea for a hybrid system in terms of how we elect our city council members. I think that with everything that's happened with city council, and I already gave them, a fair once over, and I'll say what I said back then, that we should dig deep into that idea to see if that would work for us, because we got to figure out is how do we make city council be more accountable and work better for the people. And it's more than just personality, in my opinion. Sure, we need a new city council. We need people that's going to have integrity. Obviously, we got that. We need people that's not going to take bribes and sell out the community to developers, obviously. But I'm wondering, structurally, where can we build? What do we need to do? What needs to be changed structurally in terms of how city council is elected that could yield a better benefit for us, the people? I think that's fair. Would you agree with that? I think that's a fair thing. I think we should look at that way. So in a year, what I would hope is that we're not just voting on council as terms of personalities, people, but voting on structurally what needs to change as well. Can you feel me on that? Any ideas come bubbling up? Let me go to the phones while you marinate on that. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
What up, though, Nate?
Hey, what's going on?
This is Black Lion. What it do?
Oh, what's going on? What's up, Black Lion?
It's going on. It's do what it do. Wanted to touch bases on a couple of your comments, being that you lifted the ban on me.
Go right ahead.
Don't worry. We're not going to discuss your BS. We're going to discuss everyone else's BS.
I'm not worried about it.
We're going to discuss that.
And we won't discuss yours either.
Yeah, you are worried about it. But, hey, you are local care, a radio, talk radio, so let's move on. Hey, bro, couple questions. Kyle Rittenhouse was released on bond, right?
Yes, he was.
Why do you think he was released on bond, but the McMichaels who murdered Ahmaud Arbery wasn't released on bond? And I forget the other guy's name was Mulatto, who he ended up shooting a white girl in the car that was trying to run him off the road, wasn't released on bond. They was trying to kill him and his little white girlfriend, calling racist names and calling her the N-word lover. And he pulled his gun out and he bust a couple shots, but he hit the white girl that was a passenger in the car and killed her. He wasn't released on bond. Why do you think Kyle was, but these other actors wasn't?
I don't know, brother. Why do you think?
Are you even familiar with what I'm saying?
I'm familiar with.
You just been following the pink people and Negroes and
I'm
city
familiar
council.
I'm familiar with the first two cases you mentioned, but not the last one. Can you hear me?
Again?
I said I'm familiar with
I hear you, but I was over talking you.
Yeah. I'm familiar with the first two cases that you mentioned, Kyle Rittenhouse and, of course, brother Ahmaud Arbery. But the last case you mentioned, that seems unfamiliar to me. But I'm curious, what do you think? Why do you think that Rittenhouse was released and not the two white men that killed brother Ahmaud Arbery?
Because it's peak racism. A racist hell regime rat him out. They down with him. They want to see him as a hero for some particular reason, as pink people do. That's why. And
but
he might just get off.
He might get off.
And then if he's held to a so-called jury of his peers in Kenosha, which are all pink people, racist society. They've been racist from their conception, and black people been saying it since they've been in Kenosha.
Okay, so explain something to me then, Black Lion. I'm trying to figure this out. So you said it's
racism. I wanted to bring some other blackness to your show, which you don't talk about.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to do that. But before you do that, I mean, you said you think it was racism. So how is it racism when the two white men killed a black man? Ahmaud Arbery was a brother. They haven't been released on their own bond. on any kind of bond.
Mm-hmm.
Cal Rittenhouse killed two white guys.
They're not getting enough pink racist backing.
Right.
That's why.
Right, yeah, but if it's racism, shouldn't they be getting backing? Because these are two white men that killed a black man.
You would think, but they're not getting it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's too much evidence to say that, well, they kind of effed up.
Right. Okay, what else is on your mind?
But let's move on. Let's move on to your local politics so I can go international. Because you BSing. To answer your local political questions is, you have no hope in changing these pink races. What you need to do is start fighting for your reparations so black people can build their own communities, which they have none, so they could build their own infrastructures and control themselves versus voting on racist pink people who's been a political terrorist organization towards black people in this city since they've been there, since their conception, since the Germans coined the phrase Cincinnati. But, you're going to still hope on these racist pink people and the Negroes, the house Negroes who want to sit in the seat next to pink racists. So, hang it up, bro. Let's move on to international.
Well, before you move on to international again, brother, hold on a second. Before you move on to international, so I don't understand what you just said.
Brother, you cutting me off, brother.
I'm not cutting you off. We're having a conversation.
Then you recap?
We're having a conversation. I'll make sure you finish your whole flow. I want to hear what you got to say internationally. But I want to challenge you on something you just said, or should I say at the very least?
It's your show. It's your.
I got you, brother. I mean, the filibuster ain't gonna work, but you just said something that I want to push back on, or at least get a clarification on. So, because it seems like a contradiction. So, on one hand, it sounded as if you were saying that, and again, if I'm wrong on this, set me straight. But from what I just heard, you just said two things that kind of clash. So, on one hand, you said that, we, and I guess you mean by we, you mean like people that vote are just going to go down there and vote for pink people in the same old racist political system. And then you said we should be pushing for reparations. Well, how are we supposed to get reparations if we don't get it through the political system? Did you hear that question?
I heard the question, and I think the question is flawed. But like I said, isn't that what you just did for your president?
Well, tell me how the question is flawed first, sir.
Well, let me address it. I didn't interrupt you, did I? You interrupted me, and I let you continue.
Don't get sidetracked because I asked you a difficult question. Just finish your flow.
Thank you. Didn't you just vote for pink known racist for your president? And this Hindu racist? Didn't you just vote for that again? A known clear racist. Did you ever look up his speech when he gave the 1994, it was past 94, but he argued it in 93, crime deal? Did you look it up? Did you hear what he said about you, me, black people in general? But you voted for him anyway, right? Let's move on, bro. Let me talk about this international.
No, let's not move on because you didn't answer my question, though, son.
More important.
You didn't answer my question, B, and you trying to filibuster because I can tell you don't want to answer it. I'm trying to clarify something you said. You can't have it both ways when you call into me. Okay, you already know that. So you just said and criticized people that vote. Y'all just gonna vote for the same old system. Same old pink people is what you use. And then out of your mouth in the same breath, you said we need to be pushing for reparations. So what do you know that I don't know? How are we supposed to get reparations if we don't interact with the political system, brother?
I answered your question.
Actually,
I said
you didn't. You ignored the question.
It's flawed. I said it's flawed.
Yeah,
now
you can say what you want to say, but it don't make sense. So you said that we should be pushing for reparations. How are you telling black people to push for reparations? What's your suggestion, brother?
Okay. Well, I guess you haven't been paying attention for the last couple of years when the topic has been on the table for you to have to ask the question. Again, your perspective is flawed. Can I move on to my international point?
Yeah,
please?
You can move on to your international question when you answer that question.
Right about now in Ethiopia, in Tigray and Eritrea, they're having civil wars. They're fighting each other. And they all stem from Ethiopia building this electric hydro dam.
Right.
that's interfering with the mulattoes in Egypt. Now, the Egyptian, these mulattoes who took over the black city, the ancient black city, asked Trump to intervene and mediate their differences. Trump said, just blow up the dam. Well, Ethiopia is building this hydro dam to move their civilization into an electro-powered civilization to give electricity to all the surrounding countries around Ethiopia, along with themselves, to move them into another power age. They want nuclear armament. They want to rise up. So now the Arab mulattoes are strategically instigating civil war to prolong the building of this dam. What's your view on that, brother? We don't know. You don't know because you ain't been following it because you keep following pink people. You stand in the line and vote for pink races. You wonder what Pastor doing. You wonder what PG doing.
I got you, brother. Thank you for the call, man. Now you just rambling. I ain't here for all that nonsense, but thank you for the call. Appreciate it. Giving us something to not think about. But you didn't answer my question. And it was so obvious that Black Lion got caught out there talking, running your mouth and not thinking. What's the maxim for this show? Open your mind before you open your mouth. I'm not going to spare you. It's a very simple question. You're talking out both sides of your mouth. Oh, y'all voting for the pink people in this racist system, but then we should be pushing for reparations. I asked the brothers 3 times. Okay, so you must know something I don't know. How are we supposed to push for reparations in this country if we don't interact with the political system, whether that be locally, statewide, and of course, nationally? Brother had no answer. Let's talk about Ethiopia and the dam. Very, very, very serious international conversation there. But don't try to throw that up as a smoke screen because you said some dumb ish and you just can't really explain it. You gotta look around, look at where you are, bro. You already know me. I'm gonna hear it and I'm gonna call it out. That didn't make no sense. And I'm thinking, oh, he must know something I don't know. Like maybe he figured out a way for black people to get reparations that don't involve the political system. Brother had no answer whatsoever. Sounding like listen, open your mind before you open your mouth. The wise words of Boutros Boutros. Open your mind before you open your mouth. Don't try to just throw a whole bunch of nonsense my way thinking I'm going to dodge it. You might guess I'm going to miss it. You might get some of that off because I'm doing something else, but that didn't make any sense. Did I miss something? Huh? Then you want to try to filibuster by talking real fast. I mean, come on, bro. We grown over here. Stop with the nonsense. Open your mind before you open your mouth. And you're always welcome to call in. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
What's going on, Nate, man?
Hey, what's up, Glenn? Welcome.
You heard that saying, you got the patience of Job. That's what I would call you, Nate. You gave the guy a chance. You continue to try to give him a chance, and he just completely, he F's it up. He's like the Donald Trump of the chop shop. He's never going to change, Nate. I mean, he's just
don't
not.
Have to change.
And you try, man. I mean, he got fans out there. People want to hear from him. But every single time, it always devolves into some dumb-ish. Every single time. You ask him about how do you, get involved with the reparations movement, but don't become part of the political system. Other than going to Fort Knox or Washington and ganking people, there is no other solution, is it?
Maybe he knows something I don't know.
Nate, this is the same guy that was talking about why you messing with me, officer, because they told his ass to get up on the sidewalk. Remember that?
Oh, I was there.
He videotaped his own punking out.
I was there.
You remember?
Oh, yeah, I'll never forget.
Why are you messing with me, officer? Sounded like a straight buster. I mean, he was like, I'm the new Chris Paul. I'm the new buster. So why mess me with that? And unless you leaving to go to help in the Ethiopian Civil War or something, Negro, you're going to be right here in the inner city of America, Cincinnati. So stop. You ain't like them other people. We talked about it, about 5 months ago where people were leaving and going to Africa. Black Lion ain't going nowhere. That nigga ain't been outside of the bottom in Winton Terry. Give me a break. I mean, honestly, and then, it's just befitting that right before him drops dumbass call in, there is no way in hell Barack Obama would dignify Donald Trump with a debate anywhere, anytime. To give that man any airspace whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't see that either.
Yeah, right. So where the hell he get that? He got that from Officer Tatum, didn't he? Remember the same guy that had all the evidence about Breonna Taylor? Remember that dude?
He said Officer Tatum.
Right.
That's hilarious.
You remember that, right?
Yeah,
he was
I do remember.
Pulling up, he got evidence, and all this stuff. He got insider stuff, He's that black guy that got the inside role with the white people, so they give him like inside information. Officer Tatum. As it turned out, Officer Tatum and Daniel Cameron were straight busters. Straight lying black busters at that. Am I lying or flying, Nate?
I see you way up in the air flying right now, brother. That's what I see.
I mean, really. And then he called in with the old soft-ass Billy Porter, Jesse Juicy Smollett draft. I mean, what is going on, Drop? No loser stats, dude. Man, it's just like that, man. You beat a brother of what, 56-14. Oh, let me check and see what Bernie Kosar and Webster Slaughter done. Get up off the sticks. You know the rules. Loser roll is on weed. Come on, Drop. What's wrong with you, man? Man, I had to get that out. And let me say this. I'm going to end with this. You were talking about city council. You know your boy, Slitherman. That's what I'm going to call him, Slitherman now instead of Smitherman. The Caitlyn Jenner, Cincinnati politics. He switched up like a mother. But he was down the Dale talking about, now they're trying to figure out how does he get past his previous statement saying why he wasn't going to run for mayor and how we going to flex it all now, Nate, to make it sound good like, I need to come back for my city and save everybody. That's what he's doing now. And then he had the nerve to talk about, who I really like to see on the city council? Kevin Flynn and Rayshawn Mack.
Mm-hmm.
And you were absolutely right, Nate, about Rayshawn Mack. There's this Twitter feed. It's called Hot Takes Exposed. Rayshawn, we can go back and look at your ish. Just like your boy, Black Coldale wrote a letter talking about the Star of David with Greg Lansman, 3 days after there was a massacre up in Pittsburgh at a Jewish synagogue. Bad timing. And like I said, these got to be the worst political surrogates ever. It's like Paris the North times 10. Then you got Drop talking about Barack Obama. I heard it through the grapevine. Barack Obama and Donald Trump are going to debate. There is more likely that Georgia will give all its delegates to Donald Trump than Barack Obama debating Donald Trump. Oh, and by the way, Drop, Donald Trump in the background of the GOP for the next 4 years, that's great for Democrats because he's a complete dumpster fire. And guess what he did, Nate? The whole idea that Donald Trump says, I might run in 2024, guess what that does to the Republican Party? That puts him at a standstill. Because now, whoever was going to be the up-and-comer, they got to wait to see what Donald's going to do.
Right.
Because he's going to bring his, his followers of deplorables and dumbasses with him. I mean, really. So he puts everything on hold for that party, waiting on Bunker Boy. That's what we're going to call him, Bunker Boy, because Melania already left. She's like, I am out. Taking Barron with us, all 6'10" of them, and we out. You're going to be up there, mate, and I'm telling you, I predicted this before. This third time I'm going to say it. Donald Trump will summon the Proud Boys up to the White House. I'm telling you, they're going to have like a MAGA moat around the White House. It's going to be some crazy issues going on. He's not even thinking about leaving, Nate. You talked about what he's trying to do in Georgia. They had another lawsuit trying to stop the recount. Even after they said, no, you can't do it. He filed another lawsuit. They have filed like 36 lawsuits. I think 28 have been dismissed. Remember all them people driving around the 275 loop doing the little MAGA stuff? Remember that? We were worried about the enthusiasm on the right. No, people that voted, we either mailed in our vote or we went to go vote. We wasn't riding around, driving out all our damn gas, driving around the 275 loop looking like some damn fool. Now, let me get back to work, man. I'm out and I'm going old school. You know what it is, Drop. Hopefully you getting what I'm spitting, you sissy. I'm out.
Appreciate the call. You went hard. TNT wrote, Jason's list was whack with the exception of a few mayoral candidates for Cincinnati. Rob Richardson. That's the name that's thrown out there. He ran. He ran the last time. Remember the Democrat primary was him, Yvette Simpson. People criticized Rob because it was like, well, why you get in the race? And Yvette was already there. But again, you want to run, Rob's been doing big things. That's interesting. In the digital space. Shout out to Rob. I let people know, man. You know, I give people their flowers right now. You know what I'm saying? Alicia Reese, she's already Hamilton County Commissioner. Joe Mallory, what? Derek Bauman, Christy Coombs, You throwing some names out here, TNT. Christy, I can see it. I can dig it. Derek, Joe, I could definitely see it. Alicia Reese, she's a Hamilton County Commissioner. Would she want to be mayor? She just ran this race. Would that be a good look for her? People will say you're a carpetbagger, so to speak. You just, just jumping from seat to seat. That's interesting. That's very interesting. I'm here for most of that. I think Derek is trying to get on city council. Christy, of course, she was a state rep. Very well known, very well liked. Very smart, intelligent black woman. Joe, of course, everybody knows Joe. I can see, I'm with it. Speaking of TNT and Joe, of course, they are the dynamic duo that makes the Truth to Power podcast with the NAACP. They'll be back this Wednesday. You'll see the ads going out today. The promos going out today. Truth to Power podcast. NAACP will be back with CDM. Very happy to report that. I think it's a very valuable voice. I think maybe they opened up a lot of people's eyes. I already knew. You know what I'm saying? I told people years ago, listen, I'm rocking with these folks because I think they're doing good work in our community and for our people, for black people. And that's exactly where I want CDM to be. So they'll be back on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Looking forward to that. Of course, they did great work with those virtual opportunities for you to learn about the candidates, the virtual town halls. They did excellent work. I think impacted the election, in my opinion. That's just me. Jay Rice playing a race car. Your drop was on some other stuff. Crystal Rice, wow, drop. Disappointed to hear you speak like this today. Hey, good to see you, Crystal. Sab1 Rice, great flows, bro. Keep dropping facts. Dion Rice, they targeting all black voters and he don't care. Right, Trump is targeting black people's votes. And that gave Drop an opportunity to save himself from his own hypocrisy. He wouldn't take it. He want to make a mockery out of it. Let me see here. Jay's in the house. Morning, dude. Tripping. Dion Rice, it's funny that black Trumpsters don't care about how black voters are being attacked. Ain't it though, Dion? Love that first name, by the way. Ain't it though? Ain't it though? Alicia Rice, Drop steady trying to overtalk Nathan. Mission impossible. I mean, when you got your hand on the button, I'm willing to use it. So, what's the use of having the button in the volume control if you ain't willing to use it? I use it. Don't make no difference. Because my thing is I want people to make sure people can hear. It ain't about some ego kind of thing. I want to make sure people can hear us. You can have the best debate in the world, but if people can't hear you, it don't matter. Danita Rice, so let me understand this. Republican governors are doing curfews now so they can wait until Joe Biden is sworn in so that another COVID relief package can be done. What? I thought it was a stretch a bit. I'm glad it wasn't just me. Felase writes, but you lost, and that is science. Alicia writes, dropping nonsense and BS since 1960. Y'all go hard. Y'all go hard. Crystal writes, this is the type of Negro Harriet left behind. But hold up, Harriet. Let's walk this through now. Let's think. We getting food. We getting free eats. We really want to leave the plantation? Harry was like, and probably didn't even have no words, just kind of walked into the bushes. Dion writes, you drowning, bro. Fast pitch is hilarious. He don't want to be saved. E40 voice. That's hilarious. Check out the Valley Service podcast Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Their last podcast was a very good conversation about whether, who's leading black men? Where's the home for black men politically? We hear a lot about black females, but not so much about black men. I thought that FP and the crew did an excellent job. It was a very interesting conversation. Brenda Rice, next caller, please. Ryan writes, actually, Nate, the only reason Warnock was the front runner that race is because the Republican vote was split amongst two candidates. If you add the two Republican votes, Warnock loses by quite a bit. Fair point, Ryan. Fair point. Fair point. Very, very fair. Where we at here? Jay writes, disconnect, dude, fake news. Dion writes, no sources. They must be talking about Brother Drop. Flavor 411 writes, we have to go back to 2-year terms. What's up, Flavor 411? Sarah writes, take the money out of politics in order for there to be structural changes. People going hard at Black Lion. I won't say that. We have a difference of opinion. That's it. We just have a difference of opinion. That's it. We can, again, I ain't afraid for my opinion to be challenged. When I put myself out there, that comes with the territory. And I'm not afraid to have an unpopular opinion. If it's unpopular, so be it. That's what I said. That's how I feel. And I'm not trying to change your opinion. I'm just trying to share mine. And I'm really, to be honest with you, I keep it a buck. I'm way more interested in what you think than I think. Way more. I know how I feel about it. I want to know how you feel about these issues. So Black Lion is always welcome. Always welcome to call in. 100%. Tiffany writes, doesn't make sense. Janice writes, Black Lion is becoming redundant. Dale writes, I apologize for my outburst, but this guy rubs me the wrong way. He don't rub me the wrong way. I just have a certain standard that I want to do with my show. And that goes for him and anybody else. It's not particular to him. And, just a way that I give respect to people. I want the same respect back. And it's just it. He part of the family too. That's my brother. We just disagree. That's it. Yeah, that's it. We just disagree. He has a certain worldview that I don't have. That's valuable. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. Again, that's why I do this. That's why I give the number out. I mean it. We can agree to disagree. We might disagree with a lot of passion. It might be a passionate disagreement. That's still my brother. It's still my sister. That's it. This ain't, when I get off the phone here today or off the line, I'm on to the next thing. Believe me, I ain't holding on to it. And that's the kind of media that I want to build with this show. We can go hard. We can go hard. We get off that phone. Hopefully we don't fall all the way out. Because some people do that. I've seen that happen even in this city where people fall out about one issue. They want to throw you out. They want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I'm not going to do that. And, if you do that with me, I can't stop you, but that's not the way I approach it. So that brother's always welcome, 100%. 100%. Anybody's welcome. Black, white, or whatever. Now, we talk about things from the Black perspective because that's who I am. That's the core of my audience, so I have to be that. And that's what I believe. But, that brother's going to bring something valuable to our conversation. So that's how I look at it. It's my job to bring up the inconsistencies, though. David writes, this dude brings nothing of substance. Stay with Lincoln. Smart, dumb cat. Somebody writes, pink people. Somebody's talking about Black Lions children having empathy. That's your flow. I ain't going to tell you what to say. This is the internet, so you can say whatever you want to say. Again, I've told people I do podcasts with that have shared with me some of their feelings. They stay out the kitchen. And it doesn't matter what you do. You can deliver reparations for Black people, and people still gonna have something to say about it. You have to know that. So if you get into this business thinking that everybody's gonna love you, you're gonna set yourself up for a lot of disappointment and failure because it's not gonna happen. That's not the way the world works. That's not why I do this. I'm not trying to be loved. I do this because I have a gift from God, and I want to share it with you. I do this because I love it. So again, I just want to say, people share your opinion of Black Lion. My opinion is, as I told you, our brothers are always welcome. We can agree to disagree. I'm going to be respected, and I'm going to give respect to each and every person that calls in to this show. That's my guarantee to you that I will respect you. I ain't going to dog you out when you get off the phone. Like I might say something about the call, and I might attack the issue and maybe your logic, but I'm never going to get personal with anybody out there. This ain't personal for me. This is media. So just so you know where you are, this is a safe space for us to talk about whatever. You can challenge one another. I hope we do it in a respectful way. There is a limit to it in which, we'll show you the door. Because I want to make sure people feel safe. But you know, hey, if you jump into the chop shop, that's why it's called the chop shop, because they chop it up. And sometimes we chop up and hold each other accountable. Same thing with Brother Fame. He was saying some stuff about PG and the way he perceived it. That's his perception. That's valuable. I'm cool with that. It's my job to let you know where I'm coming from. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it is. Those are my brothers. Simple as that. David writes, wasted airtime on a short schedule. Andrea writes, that's why Lincoln hangs up on him. He never wants to answer the question. Right. Shout out to my brother, to Brother Lincoln Ware. Janice writes, now I understand the meaning of beating a dead horse. Yeah. Rachel writes, click. Y'all wrong, man. Y'all wrong. Again, I'm not above hanging up on somebody. But again, I mean, I invite you to call in. So, depending on who you are, I give you a long runway. Unless you really on some real immediate stuff, or you say something, I'm like, you know what, enough is enough. I ain't above none of it. I'm just want to tell you that. I ain't above doing whatever. Just so you know. So don't be like, oh, Nathan hung up on, don't be surprised. I ain't above none of it. And I ain't going to apologize when I do. Janice writes, I think Black Lion has driven himself crazy. The brother did sound a little less, I won't say he's crazy, but he did sound a little less logical than I've heard him in the past. But it is what it is, man. Listen, I want to harp on what any one person has to say. It is what it is. I see he's in here arguing back and forth. Sarah writes, we need our own party in PAC. What else? I mean, there's people starting PACs. There's PACs in the state of Ohio, Cincinnati. There's PACs on a larger scale. If you're talking about a national agenda, Sarah, there are people that have a national black PACs. As a matter of fact, there's a black PAC called the Black PAC. That's why I get a little bit irritated when I hear people, that have media platforms say things that they could do a simple Google search and find out otherwise. Like, I heard Stephen A. once say, we need a black PAC. And I was thinking, there's already called the Black PAC. It's called the Black PAC. This sister's been out there doing work for a long time. So I can't overlook what I already know. I will not do that. Especially us, if people take the time to create these things, I ain't gonna just act like it's not there. We have to acknowledge it. We have to support it. We have to, at first, be knowledgeable about it. That's one thing I had a problem with Ice Cube. Like, I ain't seen nobody out here. You ain't Google it. All you got to do is Google Black PAC, and you're going to get a whole bunch of lists of it. Do it right now. Challenge me. Take me up on what I'm saying. And you're going to find it's a long list of people that's been out here for years and years, working at a grassroots level with national agendas, already interacting with the CBC, that's Congressional Black Caucus, already working out here. I can't overlook that. I ain't going to do that. I will not do it. To me, that's haterism. To me, that's crabs in the barrel. That's the way I look at it. I will not do that. I will not be a part of it. But listen, thank you so much for being here. The time just goes so damn fast. Damn, it seems like we just started, but I got to make a move, family. There's a lot of stuff going on today. Have a blessed day. You know what I'm saying? And remember our motto: winners focus on winning. Losers focus on winners. So stay focused and stay winning, and we'll talk real soon. Until tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m., I'm Nathan Ivey, and I'm out.
Yeah. Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand. I'm back again.
again like flu season. I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming down my roof, leaving. Don't give a fuck, I don't care. Did the for my lonesome. No wonder now I'm on one. No shortcuts on that long run. All I really want is my share. Get on my God, on my totem is nothing. In the discussion, got them feelings, I throw all my pain on percussion. The disgusting. I hear them bragging about that they did, and it do not move me, not in the least. They ain't been dropping no seeds in the soil, but swear that you almost spotted the feast. I've been on go mode, show mode, showboat, rowboat, wave ride.